Namless Vtuber Podcast.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
peeps.
ohayou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu. How is everyone today?
How are you? How are you too? How are you, Jera? How are you, Evil? How are you, Ryu? How are you, Stream Elements? Welcome to the stream.
I'm doing really well. For some reason, when you said ohayou gozaimasu, I was like, there's a trick to this that they taught me ages ago that you can just fake it. You can just there's one. I do remember the one for otsukare sama desu, which is like
Thank you for working today. You
Yeah.
work well.
thank you for working. If you just say katsukare,
Katsukare.
katsukare, katsukare, just say it really low and fast, then you can get away with it because they're just so lazy at that point. They're just like, fuck it.
Leave it alone. You just mumble something.
Yeah,
Just
exactly,
mumble.
exactly.
Hopefully something comes out. Welcome everyone to the 10th episode of the Namless Vtuber Podcast. Can you guys believe it's episode 10 already?
Episode 10. Oh my god.
Or
We've been
yeah.
doing this for what? 3 months?
Once a week.
Once a
Yeah.
week. So
Do this
yeah,
once a
2.5
week for 10 weeks. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy actually.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Actually, Factotal Drogon sent me a clip of me playing a game with Scruffy. And he said the origin of Avocado-chan from my D&D sessions. And it was me doing a Valley Girl voice. And I remember that stream like it was 10 years ago. It was 7 months ago. And I'm thinking, my god, 7 months ago. That's so cool. That's a whole different universe.
That's an
Did you quit the
yeah.
Valley Girl voice?
What?
I'd love to hear the Valley Girl voice.
That's a Valley Girl voice. And, like, you look at the nails, and you got to do some shopping. And if you guys don't forget to follow me on my Twitter, because if you don't follow me, like you're like nothing. Nobody cares about you know.
Yeah, I think sometimes actually, Nix, you probably have a pretty good Valley Girl voice, right?
I've never tried it.
He has a good gremlin voice.
I don't know. Oh yeah, she does have a good gremlin voice. That's right. I do remember that one.
I don't know how to do a Valley Girl Valley Girl voice.
Valley Girl. You have to do it. You cannot drag your sentences.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a drag out everything.
Also add to the. I don't do that. I don't care what you're talking about. Add to the end of every sentence in your Valley Girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really trying to formulate in her head right now how she's gonna do it, and she just can't.
That's why I'm laughing, is because I can't figure out how.
Oh my god, my mocha's so bad.
My makeup is like horrible. My nails are screwed. I know. Help
Look at all my split ends. Oh my god. I need you guys to see my hairdresser.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to say what you guys just said. Oh my gosh. That's the best I can give you.
Oh, yeah, you know, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? We'll initiate you halfway through the
Initiate.
stream. We'll just keep pumping them out every now and then. And by the end of it, you're going to be a pro voice actor for the Valley Girl. Then we'll have to give you like the tan outlook. Like, yeah, we can do a whole. Next, we can brand this. We can brand this. You know, if you can prevent me from, I'm pale. I'm very pale. If you can get me to be tan, I'd love that. Exactly. So like we can like work on it. We can go to do like a Donald Trump tan if you want.
Oh, actually, no. I take that back. I take that back.
We can bronze you up. Get something
I'm okay with being pale.
Actually, it would be pretty weird looking at a 4-foot tan little elf running through the forest. Yeah, scary thoughts.
Scary thoughts. But welcome, Tan Nix, let's go. Also, thank you for the hydrate and stretch, Rudy. Welcome to the 10th episode. I am the co-host, Nix Oleander, not a tan 4-foot elf, rather a half light elf and half dark elf who does variety streams.
We're gonna stretch her afterwards.
And today we are here with my guest host, or guest star,
Co-host and guest star.
Thank you. It's still morning. MS Alboin and Evil Rules. Rules,
Everyone,
certainly.
I'm MS Elvo. I'm a D20 Mimic VTuber doing D&D, tower reading, gaming, and this podcast, and D&D, and other stuff, and voice acting. And we're joining here about Evil Rules, our special guest for this week. Tell us who you
Yeah.
are.
I got a weird name for Twitch, sadly, but just call me Evil is fine. I don't know what to say about myself. I just play games. and
Evil
talk.
Rulers. Is it something about school? Something happened? The Evil Rulers?
Nah, I stole the name. It's old. I think everyone has an origin story for the username, right? And mine was I literally stole it from someone else. Like I was playing RuneScape one day, found them. I was like, "That's a great name. Let me steal it." And yeah, that guy's had to suffer every now and then when he ever goes to log into anything.
A great backstory.
Gmail stolen. Yeah. Hotmail stolen. Facebook stolen.
Everything stolen.
Exactly. It's truly. I'm living up to the name. Truly am living up to the name.
Truly evil.
Yeah.
But this is art, in a way. That's a villain origin story.
Yep.
Hello,
But-
Emmett. How are you doing?
Welcome in, welcome in.
Welcome. But yeah, no, I just play games and probably I think weirdly enough, I probably am the only one so far that is not a VTuber that's been on here. Is that right?
Yeah,
I-
but then again, the concept of VTuber is so vague today. We're all
It
streamers.
is.
Some of us use PNG, some of us use Live 2D. You know, I actually want to. I want to start with like a pre-question. I just thought of. It's a good question because you Evil, you don't really use a PNG. We got this cat. You got this
Yeah,
cat
the
as a
cat's just a
temporary
filler.
spot holder. But
yeah.
a week ago, I had a
Yeah.
bad night, and then we have a bad night. You do not tweet. That's a rule, a recommended rule to everyone. But I did tweet.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to
Yeah.
have a bad time, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. I tweeted and I angered a few people. I angered a group that is the V tweeters. Have you ever heard of V tweeters? So-
Mhm.
Do
V-
elaborate on that.
A V
I have,
tweeter is a derogatory name, according to Urban Dictionary, right? Hey Biggie, it's a derogatory name to a group of people who claim that they are VTubers, but they don't actually produce any content except tweets. So they tweet,
okay.
I'm a VTuber. I'm gonna stream pre-debut to be announced. Oh,
Yeah.
I just got a commission from model, and for a whole year they don't do anything. Some of them, okay, of course not all of them, but some of them stir drama, and
Yeah.
drama I think is unacceptable in all levels. And no, there's no reason to stir drama ever. But when you're stirring drama about VTubers and call yourself a VTuber, but you don't actually creating any content except for tweets, that's for me it's a bit of it's unfair because I worked really hard. We all work really hard to produce video content, and I put this meme of this girl it's a really disgusting meme. I should not have posted it, but it's a girl who's talking to another girl and like asking, so you're also a VTuber? And she's like, yeah, of course I'm a VTuber. I'm a VTweeter. Then she pushes her off the mountain. And that was a very bad taste. I deleted it later, but by the time it was deleted, I got actually 50 likes, but there were a few core retweets of some VTweeters who were really pissed off. And I checked them. None of them actually produced content except for tweets, but they were all, who are you to gatekeep what's a VTuber? Who are
Yeah,
you?
so does gatekeep the definition.
Yeah, you gatekeeping like I'm a guard who's telling you what you can and can't do. I'm a little shit on the internet. I say whatever I think. It doesn't mean anything to you. But I thought later about it. If they got really pissed off, maybe there's a truth in it. Maybe some people constantly ask them every day, when are you gonna stream? When are you gonna make TikTok videos? When are we gonna make any videos? Because virtual VTubers are virtual avatars making tube content, video content. You can't just post tweets and call yourself a VTuber. It's like I'm a pre-debut lawyer, right? I plan to study law in the future, so I'm already a lawyer. No, you're not a lawyer. You're not. It's like being a carpenter, but I don't work with wood. I plan to work with wood one day. Currently, I only work with plastic. Then you're not a carpenter. It's like being a horse rider who never ridden a horse before. I ride camels. I'm a horse rider. You're not. You're not. But later I thought about it. I angered a group of people who deal with so much anxiety from surroundings. People telling them to stream. And I'm sorry about this long monologue for a bit. I'll finish it in a.
You're right. It's a good story.
There are a few people who came to my chat. I'm gonna celebrate a year in a month, a year of streaming.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
in this year, I grew up, I learned a lot. And there are a few people who came to my stream who became VTubers or streamers, but from my unfair point of view, they're not they're not cut out to do that. And
Oh, right.
you know, it's like they want that toy, but they're not actually gonna play with it. They It's like someone say, "I really want a cat, Daddy. I really want a cat or a or a dog." But then you buy them the dog, and they never walk the dog, and they just go play video games after one day.
They want
You
the
see
thing, but they're
that.
not putting in the hard yards.
Mhm.
Exactly. They want the result. They want to be a VTuber like us, like the VTubers, but they're not actually gonna stream. And you see that with people who stream once every 3 months, and then they're gone for a whole year. But they still call themselves VTubers. So anyway, I want to ask you too. What's a VTuber? When can you call yourself a VTuber?
Honestly, for me, the definition is very loose, and anything that has an avatar is basically going to be a VTuber.
So a person on the forum who has an avatar is a VTuber.
Good point. I don't think at
It's
that point. I think I
really-
associate the picture and the voice. It has to have those two combinations of things. So you can't have it on the forum, but you could.
Yeah.
So you need either audio or visual content.
Yeah, yeah. Because
You
I'm
say you
thinking
need a
like,
voice.
well, like Hatsune Miku, right? She's a common VTuber, right?
She's
Is she?
well,
She's a
because
V idol.
She's a program. Hatsune Miku is the mascot of a company
Yeah,
that Vocaloid, and they
Mhm.
pre-recorded voices, and you can mess with her voice to create whatever sound and music that you want. And she's the image, the mascot who dances.
So yeah, for
Um,
me, that would be a VTuber, if you can program it that way. Because I'm thinking there was, weirdly enough, I think there's a AI VTuber out there at the moment too.
There is an
Um,
AI VTuber, yeah.
Oh,
I
really?
can't remember the name of it. Yeah.
Uh,
She recently did it. Well, the AI VTuber recently did a collaboration with a Hollow Live talent.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, I want to
With
know.
Kara, yeah.
So like, yeah, you can
Mm.
basically they were was having a conversation with the AI. The AI would respond in certain ways, you know.
And it's an
just back
AI.
and forth.
It's really random, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of problems with that. It can be very
Mhm.
Neuro-sama as the AI
controversial.
VTuber? Okay.
Yeah, Neurosummer, that's it.
Near-sama. It's
So,
really
like, yeah.
funny to watch it. It's like ChatGPT in a way.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So that would be the same sort of concept to me, because it's
Mhm.
not an actual person. Like,
So maybe we can go with the science way. You know, the science, the academy is a
Hmm.
university student, or you have to be academical. We in the academy we don't go with what works. We go with what doesn't work. Basically, when you do experiments, you don't try to prove your method. You try to disprove every other method. If you manage
yeah.
to disprove every other method in existence, then your method
it's
is guaranteed to be true.
the right one.
Hmm.
So let me ask you the opposite question: what is not a VTuber?
I think this also sort of goes into philosophy, because if it acts like a duck and quacks like a duck, is it considered a duck? You know,
Mm,
it's like, where do you draw the line?
exactly.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of, this has been around for ages. This sort of conversation of, you know, what's the difference between this thing and the other thing? What's the difference between being bald,
Mhm.
if it's like, you know,
Yeah,
if
Emmett
you
says
shave the hair
something.
off.
Annoying
just up to
Orange
each
is a
person.
VTuber. Yeah. Emmett says that Annoying Orange is technically the first VTuber, but I would say Kizuna is the first VTuber because she's the first person to call herself VTuber. I still remember being there at the end of 2016, and I see this virtual idol on screen, and she says, "Hi domo, Kizuna, virtual YouTuber, Kizuna Ides," and I'm thinking, what the hell is a battle VTuber? Because in the Japanese sound like battle of VTuber. I think, what's a battle
Mm.
VTuber? What is that? a battle YouTuber. What's a battle YouTuber? because
I mean,
it
that's
was
a good point, though.
it didn't exist.
The
Yeah.
annoying orange could be considered, even though they didn't call themselves the VTuber, they could,
Mm-hmm.
you could technically consider them the first, well, among the early iterations of a VTuber, just
Yeah.
without like, we have to come all these years later to figure out that that's probably okay to be considered a VTuber.
Hmm.
And today we have there's the Japanese industry and tradition
Mm.
that is kind of looming above everyone, telling you what you should do, how you should look as a VTuber, what kind of how your debut is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that kind of stems from the idol
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of stuff they do, right?
exactly.
So
Mhm.
like they've had years and years of practice and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's also a
So, like,
question: is VTubers idols basically?
Hmm.
it depends.
Yeah, it really depends on where you take your content and branding to.
Yeah, like if we're going, should we consider Nyx an idol? Chat,
Huh?
is Nyx an idol?
No.
She's
Is
very
Nyx an
say-so,
idol?
right?
Mm.
Have you sung yet, Nyx?
I had one stream where
Okay,
I
she
did
sang-
sing.
She sang. There we go. So she sang. She plays games. She's done some voicing, right?
She's doing Zatsudan. Just
She's
chatting
doing this
streams.
right now. Like, basically, yeah. Technically, I guess Nyx was an idol.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because I wouldn't count myself as an idol.
Well, you don't swear, do you?
But that's also
No.
another question: what is an idol, basically?
Yeah.
Someone who stands on stage.
Safe
Have a lot of
travels home,
fans.
Anthony. Yeah, what is an idol, I guess? Because like if
I
we're
guess-
going off of what Evil said, I fit the application for an idol.
Mm-hmm.
But
idol
I
sort of things, full of like the essence of purity in a sense. Like
Maybe the real VTubers were the friends we made along the way.
mm,
Definitely, Emmett.
Oh god. Now I can't get that image out of my head. Nyx, you can't be an idol.
no,
You're not
I can't.
allowed.
No,
Until you get that Valley Girl accent, you're not allowed.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
We'll give you the tan. That's pretty easy to do, but
I'll just go outside for like 30 minutes and I'll turn pink.
you burn.
I burn. I don't tan, I burn.
Get all the, oh god, just think about like sunburns and all the skin peeling. Oh, the pains.
Oh, my skin
White
doesn't
lung
peel
problems.
though. My
What?
skin doesn't peel. I just turn pink.
You get blisters?
No,
Oh, what's that?
I just
You're
turn
alien?
pink. Yeah,
Turn Jigglypuff.
yeah, I turn Jigglypuff.
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 Yeah, that'd be a little chime while you're running through the forest. Everyone hears.
Oh my gosh.
Jigglypuff. Oh my god, she's back! Run away! That'd be the mimic. It has to be more of like a gremlin sound, right? Like she'd be like.
Oh my
There
gosh.
we go, yeah.
That's when you
That's how
that's when
know
you start
you're
running.
in the wrong woods.
Flopping around the woods and slapping everything that she sees.
Yeah. I'm not 4 foot. I'm 4'1".
This doesn't help. I was actually exploring the woods the other day.
That's funny that you had to expose the woods.
I really did. I have photos.
Hi
Oh,
wolf.
God.
Hi wolf. Hi elf for you. Hi wolf.
But going back, like for me, I think like what you can consider like a VTuber, because like if you think of like the actual word, like okay, VTuber, it's virtual YouTuber. So to be, for me at least, to be like a VTuber, I feel like you don't have to have a model. You don't have to have.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Pascaro.
Thank you. You don't have like you don't have to have a model, but you at least have to stream.
Or upload video content if it's
Or
TikTok
upload-
or
Yeah,
YouTube.
like you have to have content of some sort, and it can't just be tweeting. it has to be some kind of video, audio recording that's uploaded or live streamed. Like
Yes.
for me, that's what VTubing is. It's
Yeah.
you essentially
Some
you're
kind
just
of
a
audio
streamer.
visual
Yeah.
content.
Yeah. Thank you for the bless you. That was out of nowhere.
Bless us, she blessed us. So, what's your opinion on people who will have video content in the future, the pre-debut? And when I said debut, I wrote another meme about. I have a lot of memes that anger people. Another meme about the pre-debut thing, and people were really angry. We don't need the old grandiose debut with a song and overlays and emojis and like the Japanese do. And no. When I said debut, I mean actually start producing content. It's like people don't even know that there's this audience who it's like someone is writing on their Twitter, Twitch partner push. Partner push. I'm
Yeah.
pushing for partner, and then you go to the Twitch and see they have 50 followers.
Yeah,
Well,
they've just hit affiliate or something like that, right?
yeah. How exactly are you pushing for partner? And that when you go to actual jobs like lawyer and such, astronaut, carpenter, there's the society made very clear definitions of what you are and what you are not. But then when you go into art, the definition is very loose today because of modern art. So, can I call myself an artist? I'll be more specific. Can I call myself a painter? I'm a drawer person. An artist who draw. Can I do that? Although I don't really draw. I do some really horrible chibis once a year. Am I
Once
an
a year.
artist? No, I'm. It's like
I think Emmett there put up a good comment about.
let's see, all
Yeah.
the definitions and ideas people have or labels are inconsistent and different from person to person. So all you can do is define yourself rather than relying on what others think you are.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
my issue is when someone says, let's say I'm a carpenter, right? And Evil also claims to be a carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that I'm working with wood and Evil is working with plastic. Um, the problem is
Oh.
that Evil is going to be on the phone book or the internet book when you look for carpenter. And that damages my business. Because many people will call Evil and start thinking, oh, wait, carpenters are scammers, they work with plastic. Basically, you give bad image to carpenters. That's what I'm saying. Because you're not a carpenter, you work with wood, you work with plastic, but you claim that you're a carpenter. Now, you might claim, hey, I plan to work with wood in the future. I just need to sign up to this class. I just need to do this course. I just need to figure what I'm doing figure myself out. I'm waiting for this delivery that you've been waiting for a whole year now. And I don't know about you, but when I do the carpenter example, it's laughable. But then with VTubers, it's exactly the same.
It's. I don't know, like. If that's the point, like, I can't call myself a carpenter, even though I've never touched anything to do with wood, right? If I
Yeah.
touch anything to do with wood, like even just, I don't know, cutting in half, does that make me a carpenter?
That's the question.
Or does that make you
Yeah.
a
Yeah, I can cut
woodcutter?
wood. Yeah, I can cut wood.
Is it a carpenter, a woodcutter?
Isn't a woodcutter just actually a carpenter that just chops down real life trees into smaller forms?
Actually, like the butcher and the cook and the chef. It's completely
It's almost
different.
coming down like chicken and the egg sort of thing. Like, which one came first?
Which one? Yeah.
How many grains is a pile? 3 grains, is that a pile? 4 grains, 7 grains? How many do you need to make a pile?
I think it just comes back to that whole thing where it's like Emmett said,
Perspective too.
you know, each person has their own definition of what it is, and you just have to just accept some people's definitions are going to be vastly different from your own.
And
And
it's not black and white. There's no binary.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
gray.
0 1. You either are or not. Obviously, some people are more VTubers. Some people are less VTubers.
I
But if
I think at
you're
some
not
point-
doing, if you've never touched wood in your life,
what are you going to say
and you
next?
don't, and you don't really plan to touch wood, that's a problem. Yeah, not Nix,
Mhm.
go. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I think at like some point, like there's a bridge between a streamer and um a content creator. So going back to the conversation we had with Kubo 2 weeks ago, is like where is the boundary between a content creator and a streamer? I think if you're just a VTweeter at the moment, you can call yourself a content creator, but it would say you aren't streaming yet. You can't really be a streamer until you actually start making
Let's say the only
audio.
content you're making is tweets.
Yeah.
Nix, can you say if a VTweeter says, can they put in the title like up and coming future VTuber?
But then it depends
You
on
can-
how long until they actually do that. Is it a few months? A few years? Never?
Are you actually doing it though? Let's
Or are
say
you just
you're
doing
a
it for the
future
clout?
lawyer. Are you actually learning law right now, or are you planning to learn law in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like, there's people who they say, "Oh, I'm learning to be a lawyer. I'm learning to be or studying to be a doctor.
I'm a student.
I'm a student.
law
You're not a
student, right?
doctor yet."
Yeah. Usually say that you're a doctor before you
Mhm.
finish, before you get your diploma. That's illegal. You actually can get into jail for that. That's deceiving people. That's a scam basically.
Yeah.
But since VTubing is so new, then people can allow themselves to do that. And you know what? If you stream once a month, you know what? Stream once. You're a VTuber. Upload one video to TikTok. You're a VTuber in my book. But if you never do that, and you never do anything in order to go that way, you checked commissions prices on Fiverr. You're not a VTuber. That's crazy.
Yeah, the term VTuber I think is stretched, and people try to use it for
Oh, like a buzzword.
yeah.
Just chuck it out there. It's gonna be there.
Chuck
Someone
it
will know what
out
you're
there,
talking about.
get into the right community, and then just
It's that
see
vague
what-
nowadays.
yeah, see what other people do, start using those terms, and then
Mhm.
just see where it gets you.
Mm.
Because now,
And
like
give
some
another
people,
example of,
you
yeah,
never actually
of
do it,
tweets.
then you get back.
Yeah,
down.
you never
No, I'm
do
not a
it, that's
VTuber, I never said I was.
mm-hmm.
No, I wanted to be a VTuber, but at the end I
Yeah.
decided no. I just have
I
the
was studying
VTuber
under
tag
this-
on
this-
my for a whole year. I had the VTuber tags there, but
This weird pink
There's-
gremlin I met out in the woods was teaching me, took me under its wing, and
I'm actually an astronaut. Yeah, I went to NASA's website, and now I'm an astronaut. Yeah, I'm gonna go to NASA in the future, but I'm already an astronaut in the future, so it's okay if I write it now.
Oh my gosh. You make a really good point for the people who like just stream like with the camera. They actually put VTube, like some people actually put VTubers under in their tags.
Yeah. When I stream with a
Yes.
camera, I do that every once in a while. I always put my PNG, reactive PNG as well, because otherwise I feel like I can't use the VTuber tag.
does that come
Mm.
under the problem of the terminology for virtual then?
For what?
Virtual
Like-
YouTuber?
A
Or
virtual
virtual
because-
streamer? Yeah.
Because V could represent anything, right? Like voice tuber.
That's
Virtual
No,
true.
but when you say
Like-
VTuber, usually you mean virtual YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So if it's virtual YouTuber, then if they're on Twitch, no matter which they're having an avatar or not, and they have a camera on, it's still being done virtually.
But then,
right?
how is that different from a streamer? Because then some people will classify themselves, "Oh, I'm a streamer," whereas some of us will classify as, "I'm a VTuber."
Mm. You know, let's take this into a very a very horrible angle. Like I'm Jewish, and I'm gonna say that horrible angle because I really don't care about anything. Like I'm not care about politics or ethnicity or at all. Let's say someone uses the Jewish tag, but they're not
Mhm.
Jewish. Let's say someone uses the black tag, but they're not black. Let's say someone is using the Russian tag, but they're not Russian.
Hmm.
Isn't that the same as using the VTuber tag when you're not a VTuber?
Wasn't this an argument like a year ago about real life people finding out that VTuber was a tag and it was being very popular and would draw in views and whatnot, and they just started
Yeah.
spamming it?
Exactly. And there's some people like XQC who's been abusing the VTuber tag for a while.
Mm.
and people reported him nonstop. But Twitch won't do anything because it's popular, and because technically, uh, let's if you look at my Twitch tags, right? I have Tarot or D&D. I don't do D&D
Mm.
and Tarot every day. I do them every once in a while, but
But
I
it's also
talk
what
about
you're
them.
known for.
Yeah, you can talk about D&D and Tarot whenever you want to. You come to my stream, ask me a question about D&D or Tarot, I immediately answer them. It's like a part of my identity at this point. But if I'm not a VTuber, if I'm not talking about VTubers, I'm not collabing with VTubers, that's a problem. You all, Emmet and you and Evil, you all bring really good points. That at the end of the day, if you're a carpenter who works with plastic, you will get a bad name of a scammer.
You're the plastic
Um,
carpenter.
yeah, plastic carpenter. And
Yeah.
I will get more followers naturally because I'm the carpenter who works with wood. So,
Yeah.
what's my issue? Let it go.
Oh, this is interesting. I was kind of curious to see, like, I googled what is a VTuber, and it's actually very interesting. So the first thing that comes up is virtual YouTubers or VTubers are online entertainers who use digital avatars to disguise their real world appearance.
So you have to disguise your appearance in order to be able to use the tag.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the virtual avatar. Or, well, you don't have to disguise your appearance, but you have to have this avatar, virtual avatar.
So could I just have a black screen, and then I'm a virtual YouTuber?
Well,
A VTuber?
technically, if you're
Give it
black-
some eyes.
disguising.
Give it a
Yeah,
mouth.
not disguising what you guys are seeing.
that's going to the modern art approach. Can you put a black canvas in a museum and call that art? And
You know, someone put a
today,
banana
actually,
on
you
the floor.
can. Yes, you can actually do that. There's the banana. There's the golden toilet. There's all kind of famous. I actually studied art in university, and there's a lot of bullshit
There
that you learn.
is.
And there's also a lot of stories about how the mafia and crime organizations use that to wash away money.
We're
Basically,
going
you
full
buy a piece of
circle
art.
now, though. We're going full circle now. It's basically like comes down to interpretation, and it's like
Mhm.
comes down to definition, and then
It's modern art.
yeah.
But you know what? If I see a giant painting of, I don't know, the Mona Lisa, right, and next to it a white canvas with a red splash of color, and their prices is the same, I smell bullshit.
Mm.
At the end of the day, you can't really define what's art, what's not art. But I think you can easily smell bullshit, and
Mm.
I'm not gonna call out any names, obviously, but there are some pre-debut VTubers that I have been following for more than a year, and I don't follow them right now. But I've been waiting for their debut, and it never came. Never. Over a year now. I've been
You know,
waiting.
one that I questioned a while back was Cinder. There's a VTuber out there called Cinder, and she apparently had her Twitter account, I believe, for at least 2 years before she debuted.
Really?
Yep, she commissioned the model, had it all done 2 years ago, and just didn't stream for 2 years. And
I wonder
I'm
why.
pretty sure now she's actually pretty big
Mm.
in terms of following and I think she's
When you
a
go
partner.
to the Y, because I actually interviewed a few people like that who have a model, they have everything ready. I even collab with people like that who have everything.
Yeah.
And when you ask them why, there's all kind of answers. Some of them are like, my computer is not strong enough, and then I tackle them with, do like me. My computer is really weak. I stream old games, stream games from the 90s. Your computer can handle that. I need to set up OBS. Okay, do it. Open YouTube, type OBS guide, and do it. I don't have time. Make time. Don't you have 1 hour a week to stream? I'm depressed. Okay, deal with that. Go to psychotherapy. It comes down to not
It's just
actually
taking the
wanting to
first
do it.
step is always
Yeah,
the hardest.
it's a scary.
Uncertainty.
It's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it on the table. Starting your first stream. You tell me about your first stream as well afterwards. My first stream, I got my model. I was like, hell yeah, that looks cool. I'm gonna stream, but nobody followed me, and I kind of prepared myself for that. It was still scary. My computer crashed 3 times. I didn't know what I'm doing. I was talking to a ghost chat. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. I went to Twitter. I tweeted. No views, no followers. Nobody knew who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Um, It's this harsh truth that you don't want to handle. It's really hard. How's your
Yeah.
first stream?
Do you want to go next?
My first official stream or my first scuff stream?
I
First
remember
ever.
your scuff stream. I was there for that one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I'll say I have two streams. So my first ever stream was so scuffs because
That's hilarious.
it was so bad. I had a 10-minute lag.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. I
I
remember
had a
it now.
10-minute lag. I was so nervous. I was so scared to do it. And my IRL friend was pushing me, just click the start button, just click the start button. And so I did. And then she texted me again. She's like, did you not start? And I was like, no, I did. And it was at that point that like we realized that I was like lagging by so much. So we had to stop the stream. I hopped on a call with Evil. And then we were setting up all of my like the stream quality, what to stream it at, just to like figure out like what was the best. And it's just kind of like it was so good that I had done a test stream before my official first stream to figure all that out.
Mm.
Because I didn't realize that I was streaming at 1080p.
Yeah, you had a really high, and I remember just like dropping frames, and the way
Yeah.
Twitch works with that is, yeah, like you said, it just delays it, and then you get that 10-minute delay.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It happened to me exactly the same. My computer crashed because I was 1080p. After that, I went down the quality to 720p, and suddenly everything is working.
Works out fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just
so
go
I-
to
we
YouTube
moved
and
it
do
to-
the- I'm saying that you just gotta go to YouTube and look at one of the guides. Like, usually
Yeah.
10 minutes video. Just follow the instructions and you're there.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that's what I did, and they put me at 1080p.
Well,
Yeah,
you
that's
also
what-
have to give them the details of your computer and internet speed and other stuff.
See,
the most
see,
important thing is the upload speed.
yeah. See, I could do that, but then they say, "Oh, your Wi-Fi is not compatible with streaming."
Yeah, that's right. I think Nick's your upload speed is actually not compatible. Like,
It's not compatible, so it
honestly,
wouldn't have. Yeah.
You should drop it down to like 360.
Mm,
It works though.
it
Which game?
works.
There-
It
there's
works.
a-
It works. Yeah.
I don't remember. There's a game. What's Diablo 4? I think there's a game that's coming out soon. And they wrote, listen, you need 16 gigabyte RAM to start the game, but
Morning, lady.
the game will try to start anyway. It might. We're not taking responsibilities for lower systems. Then again, you have games like, I don't remember either. There's another game that came out recently, and it won't even launch if you have less than 16 gigabyte RAM. The game won't even launch.
Oh.
It tells you
Wow.
we can't. We're not. You don't have the specs to launch
Minimum
it.
requirements, whatever it
Yes,
is.
it won't even try.
That's insane.
Morning, lady.
Good
Also, Anton
morning.
said two really important things that we missed. That goes back all the way to the Batman and numbers. So 4 is a big number. Of dollars, no. Of murders, too much. And it's harsh, but you can't avoid it. The starting of the stream. Can't go to
Mhm.
heaven without going through hell.
Now, that's the same for like life sort of stuff. You gotta have that sour moments in life to be able to enjoy the better moments.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't have those, then you will
And
never actually truly know.
I really
that you
think
had it quite nice.
our generation, and that includes me and everyone, we really want results without working. We want to get there now, and we don't want to put the hard work, and that's an issue we all have to deal with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My first stream, I had no one. I remember it so very well actually, because one day there I just decided to just kick up stream. I set everything up to what it is now. My audio wasn't that great, but anyway, set it up. I was playing Dead Cells, and I streamed for I think 2 hours, and like the whole time, I thought my mic was muted. like, like there was nothing happening. Like, because you can watch it through OBS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was absolutely nothing was happening. I was like, well, you know what? I enjoyed whatever time I was playing this game. It's the first time I was playing it. Let me just end it here. And I looked back at like the stream summary for it, and all I remember was that it had like 0.3 average viewers.
Oh no, that means someone clicked it
So-
and then left.
Yeah, someone clicked it, left, and then the other thing too was like I wasn't even watching it apparently.
Mm.
Mm.
So, yeah, that was my very first stream, and then after that, I was fortunate enough that the second stream went a lot better and started to meet some people.
That's how it goes. You have to make the mistakes at first.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just chalk it up to like maybe it was a bad thing, and sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I think later on we'll be talking about it is the planning aspect of streaming. I think if I remember correctly.
I believe, yes, we do have that.
Yeah.
One last question before we go into the first question.
Into the actual podcast, yeah.
Yes. Abel, how long have you been streaming for?
I started back in, I believe, right at the end of August, like the 30th or 29th or something like that. So,
Oh, okay. I've
You've only been around
I've
for
never
a while.
asked you that.
Actually, I don't know how long that's been now. Ooh. The only thing I was looking at, Twitch actually gives you the, like, it tells you certain
oldest
memorable
statistics,
dates
yeah.
now.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, it tells you when you actually had your first affiliate stream.
Oh.
I can't remember exactly where it was. I think it's like anyway, somewhere in the creator dashboard. It tells you the very first affiliate stream, and it doesn't tell you anything else.
How
So,
long did
like,
it take you to become affiliate?
if I started back in August, it
You remember
took
roughly?
me
Was it like a week, a month,
3 months.
3 months?
3 months
Really?
to get. You can even track it actually. I can go and have a look to see actually when I hit 50 followers, because that was the thing that was holding me back the most. Was
Oh,
I had the
that's so
viewership, but I
interesting.
didn't have the 50 followers.
I was the opposite. I had the followers. I didn't have the viewership.
Oh.
That is so crazy.
That's actually
That's
very
weird how it
interesting
works.
because I'm also I had the following, I had the viewership, I just didn't have the hours. And
I
so
think I was at like 40 followers, and I think I was sitting at like 6 average viewers or something like that.
Wow, it's so
Mm.
opposite of me. That's crazy.
I remember
And-
when you were going for your when you were trying to go for 50. I remember that.
I
Because
think I'm
because
looking it up
right
now to
after
see
we
this.
were spamming your sound alerts and everything.
Oh yeah. Because I was playing Darkest Dungeon at the time. You're trying to find my hidden little gems.
Yes, I remember that. Oh, that feels like it was so long ago.
So apparently, according to, if anyone wants to know this, by the way, you can check up your following from actually I started in October. You can check when your very first stream was, all that sort of stuff on sullynobe.com.
Oh, that's you sent me that. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, apparently I got my very first follower on October 8th. And I hit 50 followers on December 28th. Actually, it was December 28th.
Oh, Emmett said something really smart. The best phrase I heard that got me to try new things, like streaming, is the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Yeah, you could always hold on to it and, just like...
Such a good. Actually, I'm
I
gonna
like
take
that.
this. I'm gonna save that in my Google
Stop
Keep.
holding it, basically. I think that's... Games have taught me wrong. I hold way too many things in games.
Actually, I really try. I just played Honkai, Star Rail, and when I play RPGs, I abuse any item that I get. I get an item, I use it immediately. I do not save items, because when I was a kid and played, I would save items for the perfect moment, for the boss, for when I need them, and then I would never use them. And you end the game with like 30 elixirs, 30 magical reincarnation stuff. And you think, when am I gonna use the items that I get? The game gives me the items so I can use them.
Yeah, spam it.
Exactly. So in Honkai, I just use the items every time, all the time. And people in chat, Arrow in my chat is like, save it, you might need it later. No, I need it now.
Nah, bro, just use it now. It's good for me now. This is good for me now, right? That's all I need to know.
I'll get more later. If we need later,
Exactly.
we'll find a way, we'll make more. There's a crafting system in the game for a reason. We'll make more.
That is fair. There's a crafting system for a reason.
Yeah. The old Pokemon games didn't have crafting systems. You get a Master Ball, you have only one.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm just going
there's
back
the
to that.
duping shit. Yeah.
The affiliate thing for myself. Apparently, it
Yeah.
took me 3 weeks to get 10
Oh,
followers.
yeah, that makes more sense.
Mm.
I was sitting at 40 at the beginning of December. It took me all of December to get up to 50.
But look at that. That 3 weeks felt like 3 months for you.
Yeah,
Timing in
while it was
streaming is
happening,
so weird.
I was like, oh my god, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's the difference? What's the difference between before and now and all that? You always
Mm.
question yourself, right?
If I need it later, it's for the final boss. What do I need there? It's the final boss. Yes. What if there's after game content though?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
could
Think of Final
be.
Fantasy X. They had all
Yeah,
those little hidden bosses.
What about New Game Plus?
Yeah, yeah.
You never
yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a really good sentence. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, to those people who call yourself a VTuber and you want to stream, you want to make video content, freaking do it. Do it now. The only thing that stops you is you. If you're not doing it, consider that maybe it's not really something that you want to do. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you need to do something else. And it's completely okay to look at
That's
something. Like I remember watching a detective movie. I really wanted to be a detective. I never did any. I never took any step of being a detective. It's not me, but I really like imagining myself as a detective.
That's how I live vicariously through games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I can be my
exactly.
detective.
You actually make
Yeah,
a really good point of like, saying that like the best time to plant tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now, because honestly, like you were saying, Mimic, if you want to do something, do it now. Like unless there's like there shouldn't be anything preventing you. This kind of goes back to why I'm streaming now and why I wasn't streaming before, because I wanted to start streaming 3 years ago. What prevented me from doing so? My Wi-Fi.
Are you Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi didn't let me do it. So
But did you do anything to fix it?
I couldn't, because I couldn't get any faster internet until recently.
Move further into the forest.
But did you try doing anything? to
Yeah,
fix it?
because we even called them. We said like, can we get faster internet? And there's like, we can't give you anything more than you have now.
So, I really believe that there are some people who don't even try. They play video games and say, "I'll do it one day," but when? When? When's that one day that you're gonna do it?
Because like we only got fast Wi-Fi maybe a year, not even a year ago. And that's like when I like started testing things out, and like I'm just like, wait, I remember I wanted to be a streamer. Let's see if we can get this to work. And so even now, like it's very harsh on the Wi-Fi, but I'm making it work still.
Lady wrote, "If you finish the game without using the items, you get them in real life."
Oh, only if. Imagine.
Oh, this...
Let's go.
I'm just thinking of all the memes, like the guys. If you're older than 30, eventually you turn into a sage.
Oh. You get a cloak and a walking stick at the very end.
You'll be able to use magic at some point if you keep
Let's
it long
go.
enough. But yeah.
I'm 37. That's false. It doesn't happen.
Oh, damn. Man,
No,
I need
but-
to yield it.
I still have some hopes for 40. You know, being a dark wizard, a dark magician, a blue eyes white dragon, one of those. Dark wizard.
Hmm.
You know, I've just watched the D&D movie yesterday, which is brilliant, but it's been really bothering me that the concept of wizard, warlock, and sorcerer was kind of a mess between them. They didn't.
They
really do
didn't
it
differentiate them too well.
Yeah, I was like, every second thing is a wizard. No, it's not a wizard. Just what's going on here.
That's probably just for, the
Make it easier for the
generalization
viewers,
of the
yeah.
audience.
Yeah. Oh,
Mushroom.
welcome in, Mr. Teaspoons.
Let's go with the first. Let's go with
The first
what
one?
topics we didn't cover. We have here.
We've gone
Who are
like
you- Who are you during your streams?
So the first one is, who are you during your streams? How did you come up with your streaming style? What is the presence or vibe you have on camera? Or did you think that having a model, an avatar, your face, or nothing at all would make a difference in your streams? And do you think that hinders or helps your growth?
So there's a lot of questions in there.
That's all. It's very compact.
And as always, I'll have a little notepad.
Ooh, let's go.
Anyway, oh, no, I just read it. I think my on self, like on stream and off stream, I'm very much the same person. Like, there's no difference. I don't think.
I agree because I've hung out with you outside of stream, and I feel like you're still the same, very much so. If not trying to get me to say more interesting stuff off stream.
Oh yeah, because I can't do that on stream. You know, that's the other thing I wrote down. I was like, obviously there's some things you don't talk about on stream, and it's also like you gotta feel out. I don't want to say it as strangers, but you gotta feel out the other person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to make it open. Yeah, you don't want to be that weird guy that goes up and like starts smelling people's elbows.
Elbows?
I've had that happen. Someone licked my elbow once.
In
Huh?
real life?
Yeah, in real life. They were like, you know what? This is the best way to start a conversation is just lick the person's elbow and then be like, hey, did you notice I licked your elbow? And I was like, wait, what?
Was that in an anime convention?
No. It just happened outside of a pub.
Oh wow.
Outside of the...
So,
What?
yeah. So the reasoning for the elbow thing, we keep
What
going
is
with the
this, a
elbow. 'cause
talking
it's,
cat?
This is like a talking cat.
Or a dog?
the elbow was like, oh yeah, that's where you don't have the least amount of nerves in your body. I was like, that's why you licked my elbow? To tell me that there's like no nerves in my elbow?
It's an
My
elbow
funny
professor.
bone says otherwise.
So the funny bone's different though. The funny bone's in between the elbow, isn't it? Like between the two bones.
But have
It's
you guys
between
like...
the funny bone is between the sad bone and the hilarious bone.
I haven't hit
But
my
the-
funny bone in ages. I'm
I
not that
haven't
clumsy.
either. But have you guys ever have you guys ever had it when your elbows are just dry and then they feel like
Actually-
they're cracked?
Actually, yeah. In some winters, I used to have really dry skin because I would take
Oh.
really hot showers, and the back of my hands and my elbows would crack. I actually got some cream and I put it on them every day.
Oh. Yeah, I've never had to deal with any of that. I have impeccable skin, thank you very much. And no, it's just
For now, at least.
For now.
When you become a sage, you also get cracks in your skin.
Mm-hmm. On top of the long
Australian
beard.
weather doesn't really
The
doesn't
funny
really
bone
have
is
the
a medical
problems.
pun because the nearby bone is the humerus. Thank you, Evan.
Oh god, oh god.
You
Yeah.
know, Emmett is a doctor. Also, you know that you already have a crack in your body?
What?
You
Ah,
already have a
Nix,
crack.
come
You
on.
already have a crack in your body, Nix.
Yeah, you already have a crack at Nix. You just gotta look behind.
Well, I know that your skull has like the fusions
go-
in your...
No,
Go lower. There's another crack. Lower.
Starts
than
with
the
an
skull.
A, and then followed by an S.
Yeah. Could be start with a B as well.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
gosh.
See,
That took a
this is why
minute.
you're an idol. This is why you're an idol. You
That
just
took
don't
me a
even
minute.
get-
I was thinking about like
That's
your...
not even a bad one. That's just like,
To those who
Oh,
didn't get
Nix.
it, we're talking about the butt crack.
yeah. Jesus. Oh.
Give me your skin, Evil. I need it. Evil, would you give Lady your skin?
No, she'll have to fight me in court. I'll
There
see
you
you
go.
there, lady.
I had
see
this
you later.
D&D monster in my head.
Add it.
That
Add it to
hags,
the,
hags in D&D, they kill adventurers
their
and they
skin.
wear their skin
Mm.
in order to deceive other adventurers.
The other, so back to the question though, weirdly enough, I never thought like the streaming style. I never thought of myself as a talkative streamer until chat started calling my stream the Evil Cast.
Honestly, your streams are like podcasts. Like, honestly, what I'll do is like normally you stream at like perfect times where I'm either like driving or I'm going to work or I'm shopping, and so I turn on Twitch, I listen, and I just do stuff because I don't need to like you play the same like pretty much the same games. But then you also like talk about what you're doing. Like, oh, I'm about to kill the mushroom, and I'm just like I'm like, wait, what? And then
Oh,
you
yeah,
go
that
into your details.
Gotta
And
murder
so
those
it just-
mushrooms.
It's so easy to just listen to your streams.
Yeah, so like, I never thought of myself as that. I was like, I'll just play the game, and I'm just a normal person that plays games. Apparently, is what I always thought of myself as. Although that is one difference that I have from on stream and off stream is that if I do play a game off stream, I'm very much just quiet.
Oh, that's how I am. That's how
It's
I
just
am.
Switch the brain off, and then I don't have to think about I don't get so invested in the characters and whatnot. I can just mindlessly go through things.
One issue for
But,
me with that though is with first player shooter games. Evo, you've witnessed this. Is for me, it's hard to play it on stream because my brain becomes so focused in the game that I forget about talking.
Oh, yeah. I think that's why if you watch any FPS stream on Twitch, I feel like a lot of them are just the streamer shit talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of it comes down to they can't actually focus on the high level gameplay and then also hold a conversation. So they just end up doing saying they get teabagged and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they sort of revert to that. So I don't blame you for not being, mentally stimulating and whatnot with FPS gameplay.
It's hard.
It's kind of one of the reasons why I've also chosen different games throughout the week as well for myself.
Digi-chan, welcome.
Welcome in.
Welcome. So then,
How are you doing your streams? I think in a way, many indie VTubers that we seen, or many VTubers in general, become themselves at the end.
mm-hmm.
But some VTubers, especially in the corpus, begin with a character that they develop for the streams. I know a few people who claim that they have a fake character for streaming, but I also know them personally, and
What
they're the
do
same.
they have? They have a fake.
They have a fake character for the stream.
It's like fake personality.
Yeah, fake personality. They like certain things, they don't like certain things, and sometimes I have an argument with them. Like, what's the difference between you and the real? It's exactly the same. No. My VTuber character, they like tomatoes, and me in real life, I hate tomatoes. Oh, come on, that's not a.
That's so.
That's kind of weird to me though. That's at some point it just becomes too much of a hassle, right? Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I gotta remember that I'm afraid of spiders.
Remember all the
in
small
my-
details of the character that you made. You will forget
yeah.
all of that at the end.
Yeah.
Just make it easy on yourself. If you're gonna start streaming, just make it easier. Don't have don't have that little personality.
Even I kind
Acting,
of started
a
out
part
like
of something.
that.
Yeah, it's acting. Yeah, you make a character, and it's fun to make a character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I will allow myself to do stuff on stream that I won't do in real life. It really depends on where you are, who you're talking to. Like yesterday during the stream, I was singing a song about catching a tuna.
I think I saw.
It
I
was-
was watching that.
Yeah, it was really fun. Did you watch that? Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I
It
was watching something about corns and being crushed and all that sort of stuff as well.
it was fun, but it's not a different character. It's the real me. I just need to feel very comfortable. So I would do that with my friends, for example. But I want to do that in the first day at work. But if I'm going to work at a certain place for 2 years and I feel very comfortable, then I will start doing that. So it's really about how comfortable you feel, and less of creating a character or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you're probably more prone to it because you do the D&D stuff and a lot of that sort of role playing, right?
Exactly. And when I do D&D on stream, I feel at home because I've been doing D&D in real life as well. So it's kind of feel more, it's familiar to me. It's what I do anyway. So
It's an
like
acquired skill, basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
exactly, common grounds.
I guess, yeah, it just comes down to, then personal preference or whether or not you want to have your VTuber self or whatever you're going to be using as a separate entity to yourself, to your real self.
Yeah. Because, kind of going back to, what I said earlier, is, I would have started streaming, 3 years ago, but if I started streaming then, I'd actually be streaming with a camera.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be streaming with a camera instead of an avatar or model.
That kind of makes sense, because you've already done a hand stream.
Yeah, I only discovered VTubers just within, the last year. And that kind of brought up my
want
My
to be able to do it, and
want-
the accessibility of it.
Yeah. And like by then, like I had gone through like so many different things. I mean, Evil, you've heard of all the stories, and so I didn't want
Yeah.
my face out there anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
Actually, makes me wonder, why am I a VTuber? Why am I not doing a face cam? Because I don't have any reason to be a VTuber, actually.
Mimic, why did you start with
Being-
VTubing then?
I don't know. It's fun being an anime character, I guess.
Hmm.
I
Living
think it is kind of
the
that
anime.
D&D's.
Yeah. I mean,
being
I
able
can
to
be a
have the
mimic. I
persona.
can wear a mimic hat. I can.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Being
It
anime.
just feels more custom, like more.
It's like being in a cosplay.
You're accustomed to it.
It's like wearing a cosplay, basically. Why do you wear a
Yeah.
cosplay to a convention? You don't do that to hide yourself. You do it because it's fun.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
it's the
fair.
things that you enjoy.
Yeah, you enjoy
exactly.
it. But then, like, it's a question of like, is it really you then because you're dressing up as something or someone else? And that kind of goes
I
back
guess-
to like, who are you?
Depends how deep you want to go, I guess,
Yeah.
with it.
I would say it's just a different, another aspect of you.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
I could,
It's,
yeah, I could
uh,
agree with that.
A fragment of you. That
Can
exists out in the
VTube
world.
do this? Act awkward and fall off a chair.
Don't
When I see
question it.
VTuber, I really miss
I don't know.
the realistic, seeing face expressions, real
Mm.
face expressions, seeing people
we're
fall.
only a couple more
Cat
years for
climbs on
that.
you. See that the actual cat climbs on you.
Few
Oh
more years and
yeah.
we'll be into that whole 3D world, basically.
Mm.
But, I don't know. Nix, have you told chat just how bad you are with, your arch nemesis walls?
I think they know I'm clumsy, but I don't think they know how clumsy I am.
Yeah, so on the day, any given day, how many times are you attacked by these walls?
Okay, can we do it by weeks? But on a good week, once.
On a good week, you get attacked by a wall
Yes.
once.
Yes.
On a bad week?
3 to 4 times, maybe 5.
Wait, attacked by a wolf or by a wall?
A wall.
Like a wall. She
Wall,
just
like
walks into walls.
The white thing made of brick,
Yep. Yep.
big, standing in 90 degrees.
Yep.
Yep, that's apparently it runs in the family bloodline.
Doesn't have movement speed points.
Nope.
0 movement speed. It's got
The
incredible
sad part?
strength though.
The sad part is it's normally the same wall.
Oh god.
The
it's even worse.
it's three walls every single time.
You know, maybe it's time to put a sponge on these walls or something.
Can you nickname them? Have they got names now?
No. Not yet. It's the same 3
Okay.
walls.
Maybe you should
Jerry,
make that a
Jimmy,
redeem.
and
Have like a
And
10k,
Wally.
20k redeem or something to name your
Gotta be-
wall.
one of them gotta be
Name the
Wally.
wall. One of them has to be Wally.
One of them's Wally. Right. Oh, there we go.
Maybe it's time to break the 4th wall.
Break the 4th wall. Do you wanna move on to the next topic?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're fine with that, and hey,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
What
Let's move on
aspect
to the
of your
next one.
stream is most important to you?
Who wants to go first with this one?
Aspect
Oh.
of your stream.
Like, okay, for me, I think everyone would love to say chat enjoying themselves, right? Is like the number one thing you want to have going on in your stream, right? But it's unrealistic. And so the number one thing that's important to me is at least being talkative and being open-ended about things. Because, like, I don't know, Nix, you and your sister, I didn't know this about your sister, but I asked my chat, I think like a couple streams ago, what's a modern... Let me have a look at this. Like, it was a random question about what's a modern thing that was... an ancient thing that's better than its modern counterpart. And,
Concrete.
yeah, my chat said concrete. Concrete was better back in the old days than it is nowadays
Mm-hmm.
because of this random fact that old concrete used to be able to self-heal, and you could fix cracks, but you didn't have to do anything. It just did it. But anyway, went from concrete, and we went on to like ancient Roman history, then went into Greek history, then we went into the Persian history, and then from there we got into like King Tut. And,
I was there, but we also, my sister and I were actually talking about that last night too, saying like how interesting like the conversation went. Like it hit all different areas.
And I don't actually like that all stemmed from concrete. That's the only thing I had prepared was that one question. So it's interesting to see that. For me, I'm glad that conversation went like that. So for me, that's an important aspect that I like to try and do, and it's working out.
So is it like trying to like have one conversation, like one topic you start out with and branch out into like a bunch of different ones?
Yeah, I have a notepad of a lot of questions in it now, because like every week I try and find more and more random questions to just shove in there, and then my brain has these 3-hour tangents on like Emmett's saying, no one ever expects the history of concrete to be interesting.
So no one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, see, like just those little inner voices just coming out, and people like, oh, you actually enjoyed Monty Python as well, you can spend all these different angles on a conversation. But,
yeah, it also really depends on who your audience is too, and like if they understand what's going on.
Yeah, that's
over
one
time
trouble
over time you will make your audience people who know that.
Yeah, I had no clue about King Tut being a young emperor that died with pimple cream in his coffin.
I know he died young. I didn't know he died with that in his coffin.
Yeah, he got pimple cream in there. I thought it was. I was like, why would he have pimple cream in there? Because I didn't know he was a young emperor.
Oh yeah, very young.
I was just like, what is he gonna use it to like cross over to the other side? Is that like his payment? Because I know a lot of the Egyptians used to get buried with all their riches.
Yeah,
like,
so
they got slaves and horses and stuff buried with them. So.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a conversation, important aspect. Another one is also audio. I think for me the question was like really interesting to figure out also chat's perspective of it, like what's important to a stream. Because like you said, Nix, like when you first did your 1080p and then like the 10-minute delay, people were still watching that.
They were.
And that was super surprising to me.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I didn't think about that until now.
Yeah, like people were still watching that, and they came in. They gave you time, and they were like interested in you. And it's sort of like maybe that actually isn't as important as you think.
That actually because that goes into like what I want to say, like what I think is important, and like what I think chat thinks is important, because like I am still very surprised that like people come and watch even though my stream is at 480p. It's not the greatest quality, and I don't even know if it's going to get better in the future. But then the fact that like people still come in and watch tells me that my internet quality does not have to be the greatest for people to come. Like they're coming for other reasons. Those other reasons, I don't know, it could be different for everyone. But I think for me it's just I kind of agree with you, Evo. Like what's really important, and this is hard for me, is like having content to talk about. Because I also feel like sometimes I just don't have anything to talk about, and that kind of puts me at a spot of like, okay, what should I do now? Which is actually why I make a lot of sounds during my stream, is because I'm trying to fill in the empty void and empty sounds, because like no one in chat is talking, I'm like playing the game, and I can't think of like anything to talk about, and so what I do is I start making sounds.
They're beautiful sounds, by the way.
They're just really weird and random sounds.
I think I was doing the same thing. I think I did the same thing on my first couple streams as well until I started making the list of questions to just randomly pop out every now and then.
Mm.
Because I know there's a bunch of things out there for how do you hold a conversation to zero chats, right? Like no one's chatting. How do you keep a conversation going? And they're always just like, just comment about the game, just talk about the game you're playing, and that's it. But in all honesty, that's the most boring thing you could ever do, I think.
It's not
It's
easy knowing what to talk about. Do you
mm,
talk about the game? Do you talk about? Because I already have this conflict. Do I talk about the game? Do I talk about my day or some other thing?
mm-hmm,
And I remember Arrow told me that some people just listen to your stream. They
mm-hmm,
don't watch because they're working. So they, knowing what you're doing right now, like, hey, I'm killing a monster now. I'm doing. What is this monster? What's talking about? What's going on in the game right now is actually good for those people. But
Mm-hmm.
when I do that, I feel like it's not good content. I want to cross the content. I want to both show the visual content of me doing something and talk about my day or talk about something that happened
mm-hmm.
recently.
I think this
Yeah.
kind of goes back into the streaming style. Like if it's your streaming style, people join in and they will know that if you do it enough times where you're just talking about your day, they're gonna be, that's your streaming style.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the god tier gaming or anything like that. It's just
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
you're an amazing podcast.
Mm.
That's
Yeah, because
I think
like,
that's mm-hmm.
You
I kind
make
of like,
such a good content so they stop listening and start watching too.
or like some people will like only like listen because they like listening.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's weirdly enough, I think the other one that doesn't get enough attention is it's probably a thing, but I'm unsure. I guess there might be partially blind people watching Twitch.
Oh yeah, because they do also now have like, um, I know there's some streamers who have the integration of like you can do captions, live captions.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, captions for people that have auditory problems, whatnot. So it's always the weird one. I think is the one that often gets left out as the disabled.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. You could have an amazing viewer, and they can never actually see what you look like, but they love your voice and they love how you go about your streams and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So going back to
It's
the question, what aspect of your stream is the most important? I think I've been thinking about this while we're talking. And first, audio quality is really important
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And with other people's as well. If I collab with someone, I usually go to the stream and just make sure that there's no random background noises, that there's no crackling in the microphone. You can actually hear them. They're understandable. Their accent, their language. Um, it's important. It's important to me. It's important for the quality because I'm not just going to stream. I'm going to upload that to YouTube later. It's going to be there forever, and I want quality content. Another aspect that's really important, equally important, is positivity. I want the stream to be positive. I want it to be fun. I want it to be engaging. I want it to be wholesome. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want it to be me ranting about how bad my life is or arguing with chat about some trauma dump or venting. I want it to
Yeah, yeah.
be, wholesome.
No one enjoys watching that.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not always easy to keep that.
That's true.
So
I think
then,
everyone has the down days, right?
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. So then that kind of goes into like another thing. What is one small thing that you think is really important? Like we're talking about like things we think are important overall, but like what are like the small things? Like Evil, you mentioned like time management, healthy eating, sleeping, fixing stream issues.
Yeah, that's like I did make a note here. What was it? Um, Audio makes a big difference for me because I think in the last question you also asked, was it, do you think it hindered my help, my growth
Yeah.
with my streaming style, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I only literally have three things on my streams, which is my voice, the the game's audio, and the chat bubbles. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, it's never hindered me, and that's the small thing is that the small thing that's helped it is always making sure that the audio is great because that's covers most of that covers most of the things in my stream basically. If I had really shit audio, I'm fairly sure like if the game's music just drowned out my voice, no one could hear me, then obviously there's gonna be big problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure the audio is perfectly fine, and I mean, you can always do test recordings and stuff like that and get it as close as you can. Yeah, that's the other thing. People never tell you that the audio is off either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
there's
yeah.
some
People
people
don't
that
tell
don't
you.
That's. I've had a few situations there where I've watched people. I've watched smaller streamers. I've been sitting there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, why the hell can I just hear the game audio? Why the hell can I see their mouth moving but like nothing coming out? And I just had to just like type them in.
And sometimes
And
you just have to tell them. And some
yeah,
people will not tell them, and it's just people want to, I don't know, lurk but not improve the quality of the stream. I have no idea what's going on in the
yeah,
mind of people who don't tell. But when I go to someone's stream and there's
Mm.
any kind, the game volume is too high or too low, so I immediately tell them.
mm-hmm.
As streamers, they should know that.
They should,
Yeah, it's
especially. Go
it
ahead.
affects you so much, especially when there's so few things that you'll like. It's the little things that you notice more when they're off
Mm-hmm.
in such
Mm-hmm.
a refined, I guess, stream.
And like it's so interesting too when like your viewers are other streamers but they don't say anything.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I see streamers that come in and, as viewers. Basically, I don't know how I feel about not feel about it, but like I think it's you just got to treat them as a viewer, right? Like just
Yeah, you
they're
treat them as a
there just to
viewer.
be they're there just to be entertained in a sense, but like it's because a lot of the time I think also that when a streamer does come into another streamer's stream, lots of stream, they do tend to just want to switch off and not have to
Mhm.
think too hard about everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a
Sometimes you
relaxation.
just genuinely want to watch your streaming buddy or a friend doing their stuff. You just want to chill with someone.
Mm.
And sometimes you actually want to learn. You want to see, oh, let's see how they stream, what they
Yeah,
talk about, how they would
exactly.
deal with chat.
You can learn a lot of things about watching other people, right?
Yeah.
It's like I think if people watched Nyx, they could learn how not to swear. She's got all the tips and
I
tricks
mean,
on how to.
Nyx is really wholesome. There's a lot
Yes.
to learn from her.
Yeah, like just replace everything with fudge.
That
fudge
is
this,
true.
fudge that, and you know it helps out. And then obviously if you go and watch streamers of similar size and that sort of stuff, you kind of get to understand. You know, how am I different? What could I improve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all that,
and
yeah.
it's kind of like going off of that too. Like if you're like looking for like if you're looking for specifically like some kind of like branding or theme that you're kind of going off of, I actually know some people who their personality is like other big streamers, and so what they do is like they go and they watch that streamer and they say,
Emulate
what
it.
can I learn? And so like being able to like maybe like find someone who is similar to you in personality or streaming style and like watching them and just learning like what do they do, what makes them good at what they're doing, or something on the line.
What makes them hyper successful?
Yeah, what makes them successful? Because like it's different for everyone.
Yeah, it certainly is very different paths that people take, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was on the Twitch Reddit at one point, just reading through that because it's always a fun time reading through there. And one of the questions they asked in there was like, "How long did it take you to get to affiliate?" And like a lot of the common answers that were in there was like, "It took me a week," and I was like, "What the hell?"
Some people
hell,
get
dude?
It took me
affiliate
a
on
week.
their first stream.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, there was one in there. It was like I hit affiliate for once, my first
Mhm.
stream, but had technically been like a
The
mod
best
in
writers
an
read. Yeah, the best writers read, exactly.
Mm,
I really think that those people who affiliated one stream, they did a lot of good
groundwork.
background study, the groundwork. Yeah, they learned a lot before the stream, what they're supposed to be, what's the audience that's going to, their target audience, and so on.
Yep.
They did the
yeah,
job, they did the work.
that's kind of what I did. Is like I didn't do my like debut until end of December, but like I was starting like meeting people, talking to people back in October.
Doing your tweets and everything, right?
Yeah. And so when it actually came time to like me streaming and when I was ready for everything, by then like I had my follower, I had surprisingly an average viewer count. And then it was just really getting the hours.
Yeah, I
Because
forgot
you
about the hour
seven
situation
yeah,
with that.
seven different stream on 7 different days and then like average like stream time of like this many hours.
I have a problem with that system though. Like Twitch from a very early age teaches streamers to be very number focused, and it's so
Hmm.
bad for the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But it is good for Twitch. It's good for the gamification, competition. That's how these systems work. It's all about numbers at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
which is
really
it's sad, but you know you gotta face it and
But that's also the
deal
real
with it.
world, you know. You deal with money, banks, accounts,
Mm-hmm.
real people. That's in a way that's how the world works. And I think going back to this generation, I think many of us are children who didn't grow up properly because of video games and the internet. We feel like we are allowed everything, and we don't need to work, um, and we are entitled. We're not entitled because of race or ethnicity or religion or whatever. We're entitled because we saw other people succeeding on the internet,
Mm.
and we think that that means that we are also entitled to succeed. We're entitled because we have mental issues, because we have ADHD or OCD or autism or depression. Any kind of stamp I can add on myself will make me more entitled to win free rewards. And then you get into the real world of numbers and you get slapped in the face.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of that doesn't really apply, you know.
Mm-hmm. The real world is very harsh.
Getting on the question though, with aspect that's important with you, I did make a note here that we were talking about audio being like the visuals being pretty interesting, how much the tolerance level for that is. But I also find that like the tolerance level for overlays and like the actual models themselves is almost non-existent to me. Because it's one of the things that's like I've been asked this question, why haven't I been a PNG tuber yet? And it's just because I'm like, well, I mean, I could chuck up this cat, right? And technically I'd be a PNG tuber, but like it just doesn't seem like it helps too much because viewers just don't even they haven't really told me anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just doesn't seem like it's an aspect they care about. So I'm like, well, screw it. If it's something that they are willing to tolerate and it doesn't affect me, you know, why
If you go to
chuck it up
YouTube, you
there?
see there's a lot of streamers who don't have any avatar or camera at all. Like the Game
Yeah.
Grumps, one of my biggest influence. They've been doing that for years, and it
Mm-hmm.
works.
Yeah, it works. It works really great for editing. I've got to say that. Like if I not having to worry about like where my avatar is when I'm doing any sort of editing for videos, thank God.
Also, to be honest, it's really useful for computer resources. You don't
Oh
need to
yeah,
deal with video studio in the
Yeah.
background and stuff.
it's not to
Your
say though
camera,
that
your background.
you know it's not
It's
to say
actually
that
really
it
funny.
might not help.
Yeah. It's actually really funny because I actually just redid my overlays. Like all of them. Other than like the MVP podcast, but I redid
Mm.
every single one of my overlays during my hiatus.
If that's the case though, Nix, because you've redone them recently, how many people have noticed that you redid them without you pointing it out?
Honestly, I could not tell you.
There you go. That's
It's like
kind of
doing
that's
a
isn't
new
that an
hairstyle.
indication?
It's like going out with a new hairstyle or dye your hair and nobody notices.
Yeah, unless
Mm.
you're really particularly looking at this one, unless it's like a really drastic change, like you're changing your hair from blonde to pink or something, or like,
The
you know,
only one that would be like a drastic change that people would notice instantly is my starting soon screen because it's no longer purple.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think like when I did do my changes, I made the changes very drastic because now everything is mushroom themed.
Oh yeah, 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 because you're a 4'1" mushroom.
So you embrace
Four
the
foot.
mushroom aspect completely.
I have. I really have. And I
Let's
think
go
What
mushroom tuber.
what made you do the change though?
um
Was
so
it you
there's a
just didn't
couple.
feel right with it, or?
Well, I always had like the mushroom theme part of it. It was just never so
Mm-hmm.
enforced until like everyone really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was really what like pushed me to like really go into that. Like I had like my mushroom theme and everything, but it wasn't to the extent as it was now. And I think that was something that like I really thought about over my hiatus period. And I was just
Mm.
kind of thinking like I've been gone for a little over a month now. Like I would like to do something.
Yeah,
I would like to do
like
something different.
fix the small things, right?
Fix the small things while I'm on a break. Why not?
Yeah.
And so like I was on, like I said, I make my own overlays. I make my starting student screens. I make them all. And I was just kind of like, I have this really nice overlay that I've made. I've updated it. It's still similar, but there's definitely changes. And
Mm.
so I was just kind of like, you know what? Let me just use the Canva Pro trial for 30 days. And
Oh yeah.
that's what I did. And I saw so many cute mushroom things where I'm just kind of
You
like,
just
you
got
know
to use
what?
it.
I need to use
Inspired.
this. Yeah, like I need to use this. I need to really go into like my branding of being a mushroom. And I now actually have access to these cute little images, and I'm just kind of like I need to do this. I have the option to do so, and if I don't do it, I'm honestly missing a good opportunity.
Hmm. So it really comes down to being a VTuber is not only hiding yourself, but also showing your colors, your style, your. It's like
Your
a
branding.
moving art. Yeah, your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Showing yourself to other people.
Mm.
Your true self.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
like
the other good benefit of doing the color palette and the overlay changes for yourself, Nix, is that, like you said, now you at the time you won't have to, like, when you if you do get busy, you don't have to worry about those small things
Hmm.
because you've already fixed them to a
I
point
already
where you're
fixed
happy
them.
with
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, it kind of goes back into like it paints a picture of like who you are, and going back into like what we were talking about earlier is like, are you like who are you as a streamer? I would say like my personality is very similar to who I am off stream, but when it comes to like the professional like workplace and like school and everything, like I am not who I am on stream. Like I'm very bubbly, I'm very giggly on stream. But that's not who I am like in a professional setting at
Yeah,
all.
because that's I can't imagine. I
And
can't
like
imagine like
it's
someone
hard.
being in a serious job just giggling away. Sorry, officer, I ran the light. It was fine. Like you know,
But then like it's so
it's
interesting because like some of my IRL friends actually watch my streams and they say like it's so
you're
interesting
completely
to see
different.
how different I am on stream and off stream.
Mm.
And so me making my overlays as colorful, as bright and cute as they are is like another way for me to portray myself through animation.
Do you think? Weird question. Do you think that chat helps you get that bubbly energy?
I think it really depends on the topic, conversation, and like what's going on.
Okay, it just depends on the mood, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it depends like what's being brought up.
Right, right. And then okay, the other thing then, because we're talking about like the aspect of the stream that's most important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so number one for can we all agree number one is obviously Chad having a good time, right?
Yeah,
Why
Like
if you
I
don't have
feeling.
chat? That's yeah.
it's hard because
Mhm.
you have to like start thinking about like you're talking to an empty chat. That's
Mhm.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe in future chat in archive. So let's say
Mhm.
having a good quality stream.
Yep. So a good quality stream in
Mm-hmm.
terms of entertainment wise and content. And
Mhm.
then number 2 is audio.
I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, audio for me it wouldn't be like extremely important, but it definitely is like something up there.
Okay. And then 3 is visuals and overlays and stuff like that, right?
I wouldn't say so exactly. I think
No.
visuals is really different for everyone because I think you do really well with just your voice and the chat in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But
Um,
visual is also the game, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but like I guess like
Well,
any additional visuals.
I guess, yeah, because I guess the visuals also is affected by the uh the streaming quality that you can provide, right?
Yeah, and that goes into like my internet and me streaming at 480.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, it's an interesting question for me to understand because I've never really had the chance to ask people this really.
Yeah.
Just yeah, like when the hell am I gonna meet another random personality on Twitch and be like, you know what? What's the most important thing that you think is on the that you do well?
Yeah, you
It's
don't
like
really get a
it's in the
chance to
same
ask
line as
that.
licking someone's elbow.
It's on
It's
this
kind of like asking what's the most important aspect of your life.
licking
Yeah,
someone's elbow.
yeah. You're just jumping in the deep end, going, yeah, you know, what, let's get down to business. We want to get this information. But
Let's see
oh
what's the
well,
next
yeah.
topic. What do I hear?
How
How
far do you
far
plan your
do you
streams?
plan?
So how far do you play in your streams?
I'm actually very
I
curious about your answer, Evil.
My answer for this,
Yes.
other than that notepad, I honestly no. I don't plan anything to do during the stream. I plan out what game I'm gonna play on the day. That's it, and I just have that notepad. That's it.
I feel like that's still a lot though, because like having a notepad of like what you want to talk about or like
You
things
feel
to
like that's a
talk about.
lot?
I feel like that's a lot.
I feel like it's too little.
Oh, then I feel like I'm not okay.
I don't. I think this probably comes up. It will come up later with another question that we're gonna have, but
Hmm.
it's maybe it's just been ingrained in me to have like these
It's nuts.
things, doomsday plans, if you will.
It all
Dude,
comes down to imposter syndrome as well, thinking, oh, I'm doing too much, oh, I'm doing too little. Nobody thinks they're doing too much. Everybody thinks I'm not doing enough. But the grass
Mm.
is always greener on the other side. And I know from starting to stream, I know that writing notes of what you're gonna talk about is really really important. But I
Mhm.
don't usually do that because I end up talking about other things. I know maybe I'm lazy. I have no idea why.
Mhm.
But you doing that, I'm thinking, oh, he actually has this notepad where he writes stuff that he can talk about during stream. That's really really awesome. That's really cool.
I can even like I'm 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 now pretty curious myself as to how big this notepad is because I say notepad. It's actually just a text document on my
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
desktop.
mm,
Um, I want to find out how many words are actually in it.
It's really important for me on what I'm streaming. Obviously, D&D streams are planned more, and um, and tarot streams are planned less because in tarot you don't know what you're gonna tackle until you talk to the person. And with
Mm.
D&D, you know there's gonna be some kind of story, some kind of background story to entertain the players and the audience. So
Yeah, D&D I
then
always
there's
imagine you have to be pretty flexible with.
yes,
mm-hmm.
but also you gotta have this map and music and character background, and character sheets, and um, you have to know all the rules, and it's a bit more planned than what it seems because at the end it's a show.
Yep.
And games kind of like in the middle between the two. For example, when I played Honkai
Mhm.
this week, I felt
Yeah.
like the first two gameplays were just following the quest, and then the third gameplay, I actually did the roguelike part, the world simulation, what it's called, for almost half the stream.
Ah, yeah.
I'm sorry, almost the whole stream, and I've been thinking maybe I should have planned it a bit better so that I actually tell people we're doing the roguelike part, we're doing this, we're doing that.
I think. Do you start a stream without a goal of the stream? Because I don't. I
I
always
do.
That's something.
You
That's
have
that,
to.
that's something. Yeah, that is something that is known to be very useful on streaming. Having a very clear goal of what we're doing today.
Yep.
Today we're doing this. Today we're doing that, and then you can tell your
Yep.
viewers what you're doing, and it makes it more organized. But
Oh crap! That actually. Sorry. This reminds me of the small thing.
yeah, go. Send.
Um, stream titles.
Ooh.
I don't know if anyone notices. Like, so for me personally, because I only have. If you look at any game category, right, and then you're flipping through the channels to watch, the only thing that I can do to get people to click and watch my stream is literally have what I'm doing in the stream title.
And your the picture, what they see.
Yeah, but yeah, and the picture's always going to be the game, so they always know it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the only way for me to get people's attention is to have a proper title, which I think is something people, if honestly, if you probably go through the podcast genre right now and look at some of the stream titles, there's going to be some horrendous ones out there. Like just literally like, I don't know, waking up in the morning, here's my day, and then that's it. Like that doesn't tell me anything that's going on in the stream.
So what kind of goal do you? What kind of titles do you go with?
I think I can probably pull up some of the. Yeah, last one I was the developer told me the game was Diablo crosses Vampire Survivors. So I literally put that in the title. I was like, you know, is this game really like? Is this game actually a cross between these two? And
Oh, so
the
like a
whole stream
question.
was me. Yeah, the
Asking,
whole
is
stream
this
was
game?
basically me just
Oh, I see.
sort
Killing
of
mushrooms.
killing mushrooms and actually filling out whether or not the game is actually like that or not.
So let's
Then,
say for the D&D today,
mm,
I know that the party is trying to kill a giant lizard. So a good title would be something like, would they kill the giant lizard or get killed by the giant lizard or something like that?
yeah, like you could either go with as far as you can go with something that's happened previously, like to catch people up, because story based you want to
Ah, I see.
at least in my opinion, story based you want to give an idea of where you are in the campaign, what your plan for the next step is, like what are you gonna do this
The
stream.
goal from
Yeah,
here on.
so like my blasphemous stream title that was on Sunday is 4 bosses dead. Time to make that and then insert number here more.
I see.
So literally told the people, I've killed 4 bosses, and I'm gonna kill some more. I don't know how many more I gotta kill because I've never played the game, but I gotta kill more. And then
That's-
I'll try it.
That's really interesting because I kind of go with like really stupid random stream names.
yeah. I think most of the time, looking at most of the Twitch stuff, that's generally what's gonna be on there.
Vague ideas. Yeah, if I look at
Vague
my
ideas
spirit
is the
fair
best way.
from, I usually try to put the word VTuber in the title, so people know that it's a VTuber. If you're looking for that, to attract the right audience. So yesterday title is Mimic VTuber is Death,
Yeah,
and that's
perfectly
because
fine.
in Spirit Fair you play as Karen, the
Yeah.
Deathbringer.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all as a title. I'd be like, okay, that makes interesting for me,
I
Is
think
it as
like
interesting as let's say 3 spirits down? Who is the next one to move on?
Yeah, well, like,
or something?
are there more to, sort of leave them questioning, I guess, is the way I go about it. 'Cause I
like
think-
there was one. Go ahead, Evil.
Nah, it's sort of almost come from the weirdly enough from the YouTube titles that I've had to come up with. Because I noticed in the YouTube algorithm that there's a big difference between like the view count for some of the shorts that I make versus other view counts for the shorts, and I was like, there's nothing different with the description. The editing is all right. Like, I don't mind that there's still stuff there. What is it that's not getting these people to click on? Right. And it's always come down to the title was way too vague, or it just didn't want to make the person click on it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable sometimes to admit how much math and calculation comes behind those content creation. Even as a VTuber, your avatar design, what you say. I remember when my previous incarnation was a dice, was a D20 VTuber, and many people would come and say, "Oh my God, you're a dice VTuber, that's so cute." And when I when I got my human model,
I think you talked about it, and you got people unsubscribed, didn't they?
some people unfollowed me, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking maybe they don't like the design, maybe they like the concept, the previous concept, maybe I don't know.
Nah, I think that's.
Yeah, but every
I
change
wouldn't
you
get
make,
too caught up into it, but you do look at them, right? Like you think,
yeah,
maybe not.
maybe,
But at the end of the day,
maybe.
you just gotta be happy with yourself,
Yep.
especially when it's a representation of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, every change you make will get some people away and some people come back. There's just how it is.
You can't appease everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, I think someone was saying, like you could be the sweetest peach in the sweetest peaches in the world, but some people are still gonna hate peaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, you guys were talking about stream titles, and I'm just kind of thinking back to like the stream titles I've had before. And I think it was during a collab. I had one stream title that actually had everyone asking about it because all three of us had pretty much the same title. It was 2 idiots and 1 gremlin.
Oh,
and
were they asking who the gremlin was?
Who was the gremlin?
Yeah, yeah.
But it didn't have anything about the game or what we were doing. It was just 2 idiots and 1 gremlin.
Yeah, and then people jumped in. I guess random people jumped in and asked you. It's a great way to open a conversation as well, right?
Yeah. I will say my gremlin voice was used.
Because 9 times out of 10, people are going through those game categories and whatnot. And they already know what the game's going to be like. Like, they've already experienced it. They want to watch someone experience it the first time or be an amazing gamer at it, right? So the difference between my stream and someone else's stream is just going to be, whether they click on it is going to be down to, did my stream title tell them enough about what I'm going to be doing? At least that's how I figured it anyway. But that's just, sometimes you're a bit cynical and you want to be looking at everything a bit too under the microscope. But,
let's see. The next question is pretty interesting. Is streaming how you imagined it to be?
You guys heard nothing. Something just fell. Yes, is streaming how you imagined it to be?
Are those walls attacking you?
No, my phone fell. I was grabbing my mouse to put the question in, and then I hit my phone and just fell.
Oh god. Oh, let's see. So, is streaming how you imagined it to be? No.
Queen, hello.
I heard that.
Hey, Queen. No, streaming
that's
is not how I
a
imagined it
great
to be.
question. Yeah, go. What's
The biggest shocker is probably like the perceived prerequisites of streaming.
What does it mean?
So for me, before people start streaming, a lot of the times they want to have, you can't start a stream if you don't have your overlays, you don't have your model, you don't have this going, you don't have your sound list, you don't have your stream bot, you don't have your banners, you don't have your branding,
community brand.
Yep. They tend to say, these are the prerequisites. You need to have these things before you can even think about pressing the go live button. But the actuality is no, you just need 4 things. Just an internet, PC, a microphone, and a platform.
And you can even stream without a PC. You can stream on phone. You can stream on
Yeah,
Laptop.
just something,
on a
right?
console.
Like being able to, yeah, like it's very accessible.
I
It
would even
is.
go less than that. The only thing you need is the will to stream. You actually want
Yeah.
to stream, you can do it. It's just find a way. But if you
Wi-Fi.
don't want to do it, yep, find a way. Someone who really wants to stream would drive 3 hours a day to the nearest cafe and stream for there. If you really, really, really want to stream, if it's in your bones, you will do it.
Oh yeah,
And
there's
it's
someone
Yeah.
out there
made.
that's definitely doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's so
Absolutely.
many streamers out there at the moment. There's someone that's definitely driving to the next town over's friggin' library to log into
Yeah.
the Twitch account and to log
You know,
into just chatting and whatever.
I watched a lot of these lectures about self improvement and such in my life, and I remember there's all kind of stories about people who needed a job, so they would drive 4 hours a day. They would walk 4 hours a
Mhm.
day, early morning to the nearest town to get a job. They would work 7 hours straight, and then they go back 4 hours to their house, sleep 2 hours, and and it sounds
Rinse
crazy,
and
but if you
repeat.
really want that, if you really need that, it happens. And
Yeah, you make it happen.
you can say that you don't have time, but then you play video games. You can say that
Mhm.
you don't have money, but then you buy the best iPhone in the market.
hmm
I
That's
mean, come
actually
on.
that was another weird thing that I noticed with how I imagine streaming was, people just turn on the game and literally just play the game, and people will turn up and watch the stream.
Oh yeah, people will
Mhm.
just appear. People will just
People
come
just
into chat.
appear out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, you playing this game? Oh, it's so
You play
amazing.
that? I love this game. Oh my god. And you know,
For
rarely
some
it
reason.
happens. Rarely, very rarely it happens. I remember when I started streaming, and I had zero people in the chat, but I played all kind of weird games. Like I played
Mm.
Indiana Jones from 1992 or 1996, one of them,
Oh,
and um,
so you had like the
and
retro viewers.
yeah, and someone came in and was like, "Oh my god, I love this game. Do you want hints? So I'm just gonna watch here for a bit." And they gave me some hints when I needed some help. It was really
Yep.
nice, like one-on-one kind of like experience.
Yeah, you remember those
Mhm.
moments because they're very memorable.
hmm But then you
So
have
yeah.
some moments like I played Opus Magnum, which is a really, really hard puzzle game. I
Yep.
played one, it fried my brain, and I couldn't play more. Then I uploaded to YouTube, and one of the comments was, "When is the next chapter?"
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
God.
"Oh, I don't want to play the game again. I love it, but I don't want to get into it. It's just my head was so hurt
was
so
so
much
much.
afterwards."
No, I've been. Yeah, this, when I've chosen things to edit as well, I've kind of been hit with that one as well. I mean, like, I don't want people to be coming back with like the expectation that I'm gonna be doing like a let's play of this series.
Yeah.
Because like
Exactly.
the best example I could give is Visage. I played Visage, and I plan to play it every month. I fucking hate that game sometimes.
hmm
It's great. It's great.
Scares me. It scares me, but I know it actually is pretty entertaining to watch because I watch it myself and I'm like, oh, this is fucking hilarious to me. See, like, if I was watching this as any other streamer, like as a viewer, this is kind of funny. And like, I know if I edit that thing and put it on YouTube, there's gonna be a bunch of questions about like, when's the next one coming out? Why aren't you making it more? Like, and it's just like I do this as a hobby. And this is a hobby, man. Like, I don't have an editing team. I don't have all this extra stuff. I've never edited anything in my life. I learned that because I was like, you know what? Let's just do it anyway. I got time. So, it's certainly, yeah. Streaming, oddly enough, is surprisingly fairly deep into. Goes deep. It depends on how hard you want to go into it, really.
hmm
Like, you can turn on the game, like have those four things I talked about: the internet, the PC, microphone, and the platform. And you can just play the game if you want. If that's the type of stream you want to have, you can do that. But like, if you want to really get deep into it, you can do your own editing. You can find mods. You can have topics to talk about. You know, really plan out. I guess even if you're very weird about it, you can plan out how many minutes you're going to be talking about things as well.
Hmm.
And it's really, yeah, that's really changed the perspective of streaming for me.
So talking about expectations, is it how I imagined it to be? In many aspects, yes. I
Hmm.
imagine this, VTuber and a lot of other VTubers doing all kind of idle shenanigans on stream and
Mm,
having fun, and some people from chat coming in and it's like, oh, I want to have fun like this as well. So in that kind of aspect, yes, it happens. I did not
Hmm.
imagine how much work there is in the background, how much stupid drama can exist,
There's a
uh,
lot of drama.
that V tweet. Yeah.
how important and unfair it can be. S- Examples are people that you help them grow. You collab with them. They give you the impression that you're really important to them. And they can collab with you every day, and then one day they just don't need you anymore. They throw you away and disappear. Um, People who backstab you, actual backstab you because of clout or numbers or stuff like that. And then the technical
Yeah.
difficulties as well, not getting followers. A new game comes out, you play it, you don't play it because it's too popular, because it's not enough popular. There's so
Yeah.
many unnecessary things that you need to deal with in the background. Well, it's like going to, I don't know, playing the violin or guitar or piano, and then you figure out, oh, it's not just playing. You actually have to train very hard every day. You actually have to tune it every once in a while. It's not as simple as we might want it to be, but
Do
that's
you
part
think?
of the fun.
Do you think YouTube had a hand in that? Like how you imagine streaming to be? Because
At
like I
least
watch.
the Japanese industry, and how I saw their streams on YouTube, that really had a great impact. And then when you come to Twitch, it's a bit different.
Mm, I guess yeah. I guess I'm thinking about like also people that come from TikTok because
Hmm.
all the new age kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok's form is what, a minute long or something, and like if you have like a minute long to portray what a stream is like, you can't do that. And if that's the expectation you have when you come into streaming, you're gonna be really awakened with your first stream. Like your chat is not flowing. It's not doing all that stuff. If you're just coming in thinking you can talk about anything and everything, and people come in and do it,
Yeah.
then
Another thing I didn't really imagine is that
mm,
what you just said, you can't really talk about anything. There's so many things you cannot talk about. So many things that if you
mm,
mention, you will anger someone. And
yeah, the terms and services of Twitch itself is
yeah, and
Yes.
forget about Twitch. I can handle the terms and services of Twitch. Obviously, I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone,
mm,
but my culture is different, and there's a lot of other cultures out there where there's some things that you don't say, or things that you don't do, things that are considered rude. That
oh yeah, yeah,
it's
like
really, I say it all the time. It's really easier for me to stream with Asians than to stream with Americans. It's easier for me to stream with Australians than to stream with Europeans. And of course, it's not every person, obviously, but
mm,
in general, I feel like Americans are a bit more sensitive to my culture, maybe. Some things that are really obviously not meant to hurt anyone are very offensive to them.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That actually
I've
goes
had
back
to.
to like the first time Mimic and I were like studying together.
Oh, what happened? Do tell. Hmm.
I basically asked Mimic, like, is there anything that I should know before we start this? And he's like, no, I'm like, what are you talking about?
What do you
Oh,
need to
is it?
know?
Oh,
What's
right.
what's wrong?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's not the first to ask me that. There's a few VTubers that I collab with. They wanted to do an offline streaming session, like off stream, to
Yeah.
see that our energy vibe. And some of them would say, "I want you to know that I can be very unhinged. I sometimes can say things that are offensive. Like, bro, say whatever you want. I don't care.
I'll
As
let
long
you
as you
know if
don't."
it's wrong. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only now I understand that some people have had to deal with drama and issues and being cancelled, and maybe people asking them which is super unprofessional but exists, asking them to unpublish a stream because they feel uncomfortable with something that happened and so on.
Mm, yeah, I'm glad in a way I haven't done that many collabs. Um, Purely because there's so many random factors that can go into it, and as selfish as it is, I just don't want to deal with all
Mm-hmm.
that.
And that's fair.
Like I just want to stream and have a good old time with chat, you know.
It's very
And
fair. Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
used to really, really, really like collabs. I would collab so freaking much. Um, I would actually collab 15 with 15 people a week.
I'm
And
interested
this,
in that. How does that work? Like, how is it
I
so different from
would.
a solo stream?
Well, it's like now you have to deal with some other person. you,
But
uh,
like with 15 people.
so not in a row, in different collabs. So every
Okay,
day I would
okay.
have like three collabs.
Yeah.
Uh, 2 hours with you, 2 hours with Nix, 2 hours with that person. I would say, okay, I'm going to the next collab, thank you. And if you look at my YouTube channel, you can see all of these collabs. I would upload so many videos of the different collabs, and it's really tiring. And what's tiring about it is first you chase after a lot of people,
Mhm.
then many people say no, which is
Mhm.
fine, but many people say yes, which is also great. But many people say yes, but they mean no,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
They just
my
say
Yeah.
yeah.
my
They say
biggest
the
issue.
opposite.
Yeah. My biggest issue is people who they say yes because they don't want to offend you,
Yeah. But then they'll
but
make all the excuses not to make the time for it. Like, oh, sorry, not
yes.
that day. I had a tooth removed or
Oh,
something.
yeah, exactly. And it's really pissing me off because
Yeah.
take some responsibility. If you cannot commit to something, don't commit to it because it's annoying. It's really
Yeah,
annoying to deal with.
you're wasting your time. You know, you're wasting your time, wasting my
Yeah.
time. It's just wasting everyone's
Mm-hmm.
time.
Hey,
Like,
Pichan, I think asking to unpublish a VOD that you participate in because you feel uncomfortable is a fair point. It's not like you were paid or contract. No, no, no. Of course, it's fair to ask that. And some people have asked me to unpublish videos before. It's part of the
Yeah.
system, and I've gotten used to that. I've gotten used to people canceling in the last moment. I've gotten used to people asking to unpublish a collab. It doesn't happen a lot. It's very rare, but when it happens, you just pull out your plan B. Just I always
yeah,
have
yeah.
three backup plans just in case something happens, something goes wrong. What I'm saying is that when someone tells you yes but they mean no, or when someone tells you no and but they mean yes, or when someone tells you I had a lot of fun but they didn't really have fun, they just don't want to offend you. The end result is that you're very confused. You get confused and you don't know how to deal with that. It's much easier for me to deal with people like Nix, who is very straight to the point, saying what she thinks. Um, she never
I think it
cancels a
kind of
collab
feels
for
like
no reason.
you have a blunt personality. You just want to be blunt
I
with everyone. Just be
In a
upfront.
way, yes.
yeah.
In a way, I want to be upfront. I mean, I'm Israeli. Israelis are very upfront. We say what we think. We do
Mhm.
what we say. Uh, there's no reason to play games and be all shy and modest. Like I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? If you don't know, then tell me you don't know, and I'll
What's
go
the
away.
X
But don't tell
button look
me,
like?
yeah. Don't tell me yes and then disappear. Don't tell me you had fun if you didn't have fun. Obviously, they don't want to tell me, oh, I didn't have fun. Nobody wants to be that person, right? But um, don't tell me that you had fun. Don't lie to me. Okay, don't lie to me. That's the thing.
Mm.
Go trying to put it as bluntly as possible. It's lying. I feel like I'm being deceived by other people. I think people can change their mind anytime. Sometimes people don't know what they want until some time passes. That's also true. That's also true.
Yeah.
Um, Now, during the time I was collabing with 15 people a week, I sometimes gave another chance to people, like 5 times. There's a person recently who was involved in a big drama on Twitter, and that
Mm.
name was very familiar to me. So I went to my Discord history and saw that half a year ago I was supposed to collab with that person, and they cancelled the collab 5 times. And every time they canceled, I was like, okay, let's do it that date instead. I really went all out.
You went all in for it. Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't get the hint. And if you read the Discord message, there is no way to understand from what they say that they don't want to collab. It really looks like they genuinely want to collab with you, but in the last moment, they deal with some depression or whatever, and they can't do it. And you're left there. I spent time. I spent money. I did some connection. I canceled other plans. And doing collabs is really annoying at this point. It becomes a hassle. I want to say this up straight, very straight.
So it's
I'll
turned
be
it
as
sour
blunt
for
as
you.
possible. Yes, I'll be as blunt as
Yeah.
possible. The vast majority of people that I worked with in the VTubing community are childish in very bad ways. They're unprofessional, childish, and that makes sense because this is not an official job in a corpo. This is like Wild West. This is just wild grounds where everybody's calling themselves a VTuber. Everybody's doing whatever they want. And you will meet a lot of young people. You meet a lot of people who are unprofessional. People who were there's a reason we hide our faces. People who were maybe even discarded from our real life, and they might not understand the different culture, different time zones. They might be tired. They might be dealing with all kind of stuff. Many VTubers deal with mental issues. So it's like going to I don't know, going to a street with homeless people and asking them, why don't you have money? Why don't you work? And it's really stupid. It's unfair of me saying that. In a way, I'm saying the problem is with me, with my expectations. I came to this, going back to how is streaming, how you imagined it to be. I came
into this with everyone expecting to be in the same
oh, it's gonna be like
passion.
this Japanese industry where nobody's late and nobody cancels a collab and everything is perfect. And you usually discuss this. So like, people change their mind. People like you. People don't like you. People do this. People do that. People call you bestie, and then they don't speak with you for a year. And then after a year, they come again and say, "Hey, bestie! Like, what kind of bestie are we? What's going on here?" People have very weird perception of the world that is different than mine. In a way, it pisses me off.
Yeah, I guess that's. I don't think I've ever experienced that with the expectation part of is streaming how you imagine it to be. Like you expect, I guess, everyone else to be in the same sort of level of commitment that you are at.
Yeah.
But then it's interesting like that because like that goes back to like perspective and like you see someone doing this, so you assume other people have to be doing the same.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it just
they might
it
be
goes
thinking
back.
they're doing enough.
Yeah, it just goes back in a circle of like, are you looking at what other people are doing? Are you doing the same thing as them? And then it goes back to your thought earlier is like the grass is greener on the other side. Because people always think they're doing like either too little or not enough. Because going back to what you said, Evil, is like you write down your notes, like you want like the conversations you might want to have during stream. Here,
I checked how many words that was. That's 2,660 words.
oh my gosh, that's a lot. Because like for
I
me,
didn't realize that.
all I do is I think about the game I want to play, how long I want to stream for, and that's all I do.
Yeah.
Like I'll pick the game and I'll say I'm gonna stream. Like I think to myself like I'm gonna stream for 3 hours. I'm gonna stream for 3.5 hours, and then we're gonna call it done. That's all I do.
Actually, that kind of brings up another thing too with the how you imagine it to be. It's like streaming. I don't know if this goes for everyone, but streaming really does take a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And I don't get how
for
people
that.
can do the 6 hour like streams.
That's
Actually,
so
someone
it's
asked me yesterday during a stream, how can you play the same game for 8 hours? And,
I mean, if you love the game, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that, but I don't think I could be entertaining for 8 hours. Is what I'm thinking.
exactly. I think I've been very entertaining for the first 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went down and became a bit more boring. But I really wanted the game to be there on stream, me playing that, giving the love that it deserves.
Yep.
yeah, because like to me with like streaming, like is it how I imagine it to be? I think like yes, I definitely imagine myself just playing games and like streaming, but I don't think I imagined how active my chat could be at sometimes and how dead it could
Oh
be.
yeah, how fast it goes.
Yeah.
How demanding it is to
How
look at
demanding.
chat and interact with chat and answer and read.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be times when I'm playing a game and the chat's just going really fast, and like I find myself just talking to chat for 10 minutes and then realizing I'm not playing the game.
Mm-hmm. But then like
That's a really big issue with. So when I play Honkai, I skipped all the text. So it's really easy to follow chat.
I saw
And
that.
it
I was just
kinda
like, oh, you're speeding through it.
yeah, I spirit run because I don't care about the story. But when I played Spiritfarer, I really care about the story. I really want to voice act all the characters. So I'm doing all the kind of voice acting. It's really fun. But whenever someone is in the chat talking and I start voice acting, maybe I give them the feeling like, hey, you can't really speak to the streamer right now because they're busy with the game. And I'm trying to
They're
do
doing the
both.
voice.
Yeah, I'm trying to do both at the same time, doing voice acting and then maybe answering with my voice acting to the viewer. But it really gives the feeling like I'm in the game. I'm busy with the game, and I've seen that with other streamers as well.
I
It's really
think
hard to do both.
from what I was watching yesterday, it certainly does lean into your streaming style, which is to me it's pretty apparent with the D&D sort of stuff.
Hmm.
When you were putting on the voices for each character and having their own little thing, I was like, oh yeah, that's his streaming style is very much role playing the characters. He really like you could really tell you really enjoyed it.
I'm having so much fun doing that. And actually, we got yesterday a character who is a D&D player. He's doing roleplay, so it's gonna be roleplay within roleplay.
Next, if you need another level of it, then you'll have a movie. You'll have
Mm.
roleception.
But then I get a feeling like it gives the feeling of a performance, like a stage
Ah.
performance that you shouldn't disturb. And streaming is not that. That's a YouTube video. Streaming is interaction. So
Mm.
maybe doing that kind of performance actually hinders my ability to speak with chat.
Actually, now that you said that interaction part of a thing, I guess that is another thing that comes back to that is streaming how you imagine to be. Is I kind of did imagine chat would be a lot more active.
Hmm.
Like yeah, like you just don't even really have to do anything, and then all of a sudden they're talking like, oh yeah, I really love this game. I really love this point in this game.
It really
Yeah.
depends. Sometimes you do find people who love the game, but
Yeah, you do find them, but
uh,
it's very rare. And I think
I
that's
found a few types of chat. There is the chat that interact with each other. Hey
oh
Nix,
yeah.
how you doing? Hey Coco, how you doing? Chat interact with each other, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's great that chat interacts with each other. I love it. I love the
I
small
actually don't.
interactions in the chat, but
Mhm.
it kind of makes me feel alone. You know, like hey, I'm here. What's going on?
Ah, right,
Get a
right.
room. You know, which I don't mind. Honestly, I love when chat interacts with each other. Um, Another type
I always
is
find it
when
weird that people read it out though.
Do
yeah.
you?
The ones that yeah, I find it weird the people that read out like comments that are directed to other chatters. Like you can see they're having a conversation between each other, and then like
Exactly.
you can like the streamers like reading out the
Oh.
conversations and trying to like force them ways through into it.
So
If
when
that makes sense.
when two viewers tag each other, I
Mm.
ignore that.
Yeah, I
I
ignore
start to
Exactly
that.
read
same.
it, but I don't read it because it's like okay, that's not for me. That's
Yeah, yeah,
my assumption.
yeah. And
Um,
but yeah, I've seen a few streamers that have been like, nah, I'm a read that out and force my way into this conversation.
nah, it feels really tasteless to do that.
Mm.
But there's another type is when there's one viewer talking to me at a time, and I think this is the most common type for me. One
Mm.
viewer who's talking to me, and
Mhm.
and then they have to go, so they lurk, and then another viewer comes and talk to me, and in a way, it feels like someone is constantly babysitting. It's like chats take turns to babysit me, and it's really stupid when you think about it. But it's like there's this someone behind managing everything. Say, "Oh, Coco, it's your turn to babysit Mimic," and then he goes like, "Arrow is here," and then when Arrow lurks, Anthony comes in, and rarely they will encounter each other. Hey, I'm babysitting Mimic. Oh yeah, I'm doing that as well.
Abandoned bad dragon. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hello,
There we go.
Dragon. Johnny
Welcome,
says, I love
welcome.
Welcome in.
prioritizing interacting with my chat more than playing the game. I doubt that people actually want to see me playing the game unless I am like a pro gamer.
Yeah, I'm the
Lol.
exact same way.
I do agree that games that demand more skill, like The Binding of Isaac or Honkai, when I can show my skill in the
Mm.
game, it's much more interesting to chat than games where, like Spiritfarer, to be honest, you don't show a lot of skills. You just go on and do the voice acting. It's a stage performance.
It's yeah, story
So
based.
Exactly, it's very story. It's like a story-based game. It's
Yeah.
not in the box in the behind the scenes. It's a really calculative game. You need to calculate a lot of stuff and prioritize things, but it's not something. It's a crafting game. It's not something that you can easily see, like Genshin or the Binding of Isaacs or Dead Cells, or something that you can easily see the skill of the player. So maybe like Peony says, if you want to chat, chat, and if you want a game, game. Trying to do a combination of them might get people bored. And if I'm going as a viewer, when I'm going to a stream and I'm writing someone to the streamer, it's important to me that they answer. And then if they're busy with someone else, I feel bothered. Like, hey, what's with me? They're giving more attention to someone else. It's a bit of a baby thing to feel, but this is how chat feels sometimes. And I know some of my viewers say that they rather be in my stream where there's less chat than in one of the big streamers where there's chat non-stop, because they can actually
And they
talk
can't
to
be
the streamer.
noticed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You triggered one thing in my mind that I've repressed away. Was there was one occasion when I was with chat, but it was like I was having like 3 different conversations at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like one viewer was talking about a certain game, another viewer was talking about the actual game I'm playing, and then there's like a third viewer that was talking about like something completely random. And like it just got to a point where I was trying to juggle all 3 conversations, but I couldn't
Can't follow
bring them
all of
into
them.
one.
Exactly.
It was that one. When that happens, that's rough.
And it kind of makes you feel like you're speaking to 3 Discord conversation at the same time.
Yeah.
It's hard to track it too.
Exactly. One person will tell you, "Hey, I got a story for you." You're like,
Yeah.
okay, tell me the story, and then you go to the other person until that person will tell you the story.
It's a little bit unfortunate too, because you kind of like you do want to incorporate everyone and give them a chance to be able to like talk to you and interact with you and everything, and it's like, yeah, if only one person's doing the talking, and I guess that's where the streamer personality has to come through, as being
when
able to bring in other people.
When I go to my real life job as a dungeon master with children, you see the children are very egocentrical. They are not really aware many times that you're speaking with other people. If you speak with one child, he's not always aware that you're speaking with another child. They would interrupt each other, and sometimes you have to say, "Hey, I'm speaking to that person." In a way, maybe chat is the same. A thing that repeats with me is the TITS system, Twitch integrated throwing system, TITS. So you can throw stuff at the streamer. And my issue with that is that it can happen during collabs. And let's say that I'm collabing right now with Nix and you, and someone is throwing items at Nix, and all you can hear is that items thrown at Nix, and Nix like, "Oh no, oh, you throw items at me," and it's really funny, but it really takes the attention from the collab partner.
It does.
Going back to collabs, you have to make sure that the collab partner is being shouted out and being given the attention they deserve, and they are allowed to speak. Because one of the worst things that happened to me is being in a collab and the streamer is busy with their chat and
Basically, they forget your
completely
existence.
forget me. Exactly, yes. And it happened to me multiple times by people who invited me to a collab. It feels horrible. It really feels bad.
Hey, you feeling over there, Nix? I feel like we've let you out for a bit.
No, you guys are good. I think that like kind of leads into like actually question number 7. How do you choose your Twitch redeems?
Oh god, yeah.
How do you choose your Twitch redeems? That's an amazing question.
Nix, what do you feel about this?
This is actually really interesting because I right before stream for podcast, I actually turn off my redeems.
Oh, you turned them all off?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you did too.
I did,
wow.
and then I turn them back on after the podcast, if I remember. If I remember.
We'll remind you afterwards.
And do tell us, why is that? And the answer will already be, I'll always tell everyone, the answer is because she's a professional.
Well, some of them I can say, like, because I use a PNG for the podcast, I can't do the redeem of, like, adding cat ears, adding bunny ears, or, like, changing that. And then, like, there's the sound alerts. Like, having sound alerts during, like, a regular stream is fine, or, like, during, like, regular collabs where only you hear it. But then, like, when it's the podcast, it's only being streamed on one person's channel at a time. And so it's very rude and disrespectful to have sound alerts playing when someone else is talking.
Yeah.
And so I turn them off in order to have all attention drawn to the people talking.
Well, what about
everyone who's
in
listening?
s-
Be like Nix, please.
Yeah, be respectful of everyone's right
Yeah.
to speak, right?
Which is like,
But
why I didn't
what
like want to interrupt you guys earlier when you guys were talking, because you guys had a good back and forth conversation.
Oh man. What about in solo streams by yourself then? How do you feel about your Twitch redeems? How do you go about choosing them and stuff like that?
With my Twitch redeems, I really do what I am most comfortable with. And so when someone requested to have cat ears and bunny ears, I said, there's no reason why not. And I'm comfortable with it. I'm able to add those on to my model, and it's nothing that makes me feel uncomfortable or anything. And so having those two were fine. My Gremlin redeem, my No English redeem or ASMR redeem, I'm completely comfortable with those because I know that I put them there because I would do it if they were redeemed.
I was tempted.
Which one?
I got the points. I got the points. I was
Oh
gonna go for the
goodness.
ASMR one, but then I was like, screw it. I don't want to be. I think I don't know. It was like, maybe another time.
Maybe
when
another
can I
time.
really truly evilly use this point?
Evil is true to his name.
Aren't you truly evil?
Well, I already stole the name. We're just starting the story.
Evil is true to his name.
But have you ever had one that you chucked in for the sake of being like, you felt peer pressure to have it in?
No.
No? You've never had that?
So when
So
I
about
pick my
Ara
sound,
Ara or Uwu redeems.
Yeah, what
So-
about your hydrate regime? Didn't you have an issue with that one?
my hydrate redeem was really just people spamming it, and so I have a cooldown on it. Simple fix, cooldown.
Actually, before I implemented the hydrate, I saw people spamming it in other people's chat, so I just put it in a cooldown beforehand. I knew it would happen.
I didn't know that would happen because I've never seen it happen before, and so I didn't know it was a thing. And then I had my 4-hour
German
stream where I had to go back and I counted 46 hydrate redeems.
That's not bad. That's only 10 an hour.
Coca did try
I'm
to
pretty
drown me. I do what I do is just take really really small sips every time I get a hydrate.
I
My
don't.
problem is not. My issue is not drinking too much. I love water. My issue is needing to go to pee during the stream because I don't want to leave chat alone while going to pee.
At that point, so if you don't have trouble with hydrating, why have a hydrate redeem?
I know some people who they're really good at hydrating, so they don't have a redeem because they just constantly drink throughout the stream.
Ooh, this kind of leads into another question. How do you come up with ideas for your redeems?
So
Yeah.
in my case, I really think that redeems are kind of a great way to interact with chat. A hydrate redeem, a stretch redeem, it's like, hey, I'm supporting the streamer. And also, if I forget to drink, if I forget to stretch, if I slouch, it's great that chat is there to remind me. It's like basic healthy stuff. Take a small break. But then I watch other streamers and I see some redeems that really bother me as a viewer because they are attention grabbing streams, attention grabbing redeems. And the main culprit is the sound alerts. I don't have sound alerts redeems at all because I simply hate them. I hate when you're in a stream and suddenly you hear a loud music or a jump scare or something like that. That it feels out of place. It really feels out of place. And I remember first times I watched Twitch streams. I think it was one of Iron Mouse's streams. There's so many noises going all over the place. There's like
Yeah.
a TTS reading something, and there's a raid message and a follow message, and thank you for this and thank you for that. I think you feel. I did some D&D live shows on stage with children. So I had an audience of 200 children, and I do D&D. I tell them a story, and then I bring them up on stage, and they play the characters and so on. And few of these times were great. One of these times it was summer, July. It was blazing, I don't know, 40 degrees, no air conditioners, and I was on a stage the size of a dog, basically, really small, and all the children sat on the floor. It was a nightmare. And I remember the children actually climbing on me for attention while I was trying to reach out to a towel to wipe
Oh
my
yeah.
sweat away. And that was a nightmare. And that's I got good money for that, but what I'm basically babysitting 200 children. And I sometimes feel like streamers are I'm like that when I watch streamers in a way. Um, because they're so overflooded with attention grab. Every viewer wants to have all the attention. Like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I want that to be later on YouTube. I want a quality stream for the future. So,
I had that issue at one point where someone I had a I've been trying to reduce the amount of sound alerts I had, and one of them was a music related one. It was like a 15-second music related clip,
Yeah.
and they played it, and they played. I think they played like 8 times in the span of like 5 minutes,
mm,
and I was like, you know what? This is going on a 10-minute timer. I was like, screw you in this. You taught me a valuable lesson here. And let's just
mhm.
have your timers. Have your
some of them,
cooldowns.
some of them do that so you can learn that for the future. That's also great. That's great. We should be
Mhm.
thankful for those.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
learn from
thankful he
them.
taught me that one.
Because
So,
like I don't think I have any sound alerts that are longer than like 10. No, I have one that's like 15 seconds. But
Mm.
that one actually costs bits. And so if someone really wants to play it, then they have to pay for it. Other than that, like it's not used.
yeah. I have. The bits ones. I know people that put the sound alerts behind bits because they hate it. Like, they hate the sound alert and they put the
So
bits to, like,
just
pay money
remove,
to.
just
That's
remove
what.
the sound alerts because you get
Yeah.
the money. Like I think a big majority of it goes to the creator of the app.
Yep. Yeah, so like just rather than having it there, just take away the ones that you don't want and have ones that you can tolerate, and that's it.
But that goes back to being pushed by other streamers, like doing.
Mm.
There, everybody has that kind of redeem alert. Then I must have that too. Everybody's doing a mommy voice or ara ara voice, so I must have that too. I know a few streamers who have ara ara and uwu voice, and they would
Yeah.
refuse doing that, and I redeemed them multiple times to kind of show them, hey, if you refuse doing that, why is it there? And you see
Yeah,
people
why it
redeem that
exists.
over and over and over, and they
Mhm.
refuse doing that. I'm like, so what's the point? Um, until they say I have to remove that redeem. And and when it comes to me, I was thinking, what can I do that could be fun and interactive for the chat, but also not annoying, not pissing off other people, not taking the attention from the other viewers. Um, so I have roll your luck redeem,
Mm.
which I just roll a die, 8 and 8, and tell them the number, and that's it. You get the number. It's really fun, really small. Takes instant. I have a tower redeem, which is a bit more costly. I draw a tower card. I have the tower decks, the card here. I just draw a
Right
card and
next to
tell
you,
them what
yeah.
the card is, and it's really simple and as well. You want a roll? You have to redeem it. I'll give you a roll, Coco. It's a one. Look, see, that's what you happens when you redeem in the wrong stream. Uh, but aside from that, like that's voice acting is something I really love doing, and
Yep.
acting as other characters. So I have to do a redeem about that. So I have to say this redeem or imitate redeem, imitate that person, do that kind of imitation, um, and story time. People give me a prompt. I tell them a story. I improv a story on the spot. Stuff like that. So any stuff that is within my language or acting or speaking, or the things that I do that make me be a bit more different than other streamers.
That makes
Mm,
sense.
yeah.
I'm currently thinking like, which one, which one of your redeems kind of surprises you with how many times it's redeemed?
Love confession by far.
The
I
love confession?
yes,
Really?
I and praise, love, confession, praise. So when I started streaming, I watched a few VTubers, a few streamers who their community sucked. Their community was so negative and so abusive, and it comes from the streamer. The streamer was abusing in their chat. The chat
Yeah,
gives that
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
So and sometimes even the streamer would complain, "Why is my chat bullying me?" Like,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
they tweet, "Listen, there's bullying, but this bullying crossed a few lines today. You're bullying your chat nonstop. This is what you get in return." So I said I'm gonna do the opposite. I want wholesome redeems. I want praise. Choose someone, I praise them. I want love confession. Choose someone, I do a love confession to them. A made up, all out anime love confession, and it's so popular. I think there every single stream there's a praise redeem multiple times, and there's a love confession multiple times. And chat start bullying each other. They tell me to confess my love to other people, and then they have this love confession argument, like who is gonna love confess to who.
What
And sometimes they
about you,
collab. They're
Nix?
like the collab partner. Can they do a love confession? And that brings a really wholesome vibe.
Yeah,
That's a nice thing.
for me, I'm actually very surprised about how often people use my "I like turtles" sound alert.
Oh, the I like turtles. You know why I use that one? Because it used to scare you.
Did
I'm
it?
sad about that fact. Yeah, it used to scare you because it was like a. I think it scared you a couple times, and I was like, you know what?
I think it's
It's
scared me a
cheap.
couple times, but now like everyone uses that one, and so I'm
you've
so
gone
used
for
to yeah. What about you, Evo?
Oh, I can't. My redeems actually don't get used that often, I don't think, because a lot of my redeems are actually sound alerts, I think. Oh, no, wait, the one that gets me the most, I didn't expect too much, was the greet me, which is just a voice
Ooh,
going, evil, and that's it.
I like
Like,
that
I
one.
didn't. I was like, what? You're just saying hello. It's like you're announcing that you're here. That's it. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm glad you're using it because
I think
I honestly didn't think it was gonna be anything.
well for me the reason like why I use I okay I use it almost every time I join
Mm-hmm.
is because it's like it's one thing to just like say hi in the chat. It's
Mm-hmm.
another thing to use a sound to say hello in the chat. Because by saying like having the sound alert saying evil, so having it say your name is kind of similar to like me joining call and saying hi evil and then just hanging up.
Feels a bit more personal.
It's more personal.
Okay. Actually, the other one that does surprise me too is the race for first.
Okay. Also me.
Yeah, that's also Nix. Nix is currently my number one first redeemer. And for anyone who doesn't know, first is just one channel redeem. Only one person can claim it per stream.
What?
And I keep a
What's the
log.
story at first? I remember when I was younger, I saw in articles the comments, the first comment first. YouTube
Yeah,
comment, the
first.
first comment first,
First.
second, third. Why?
I
Why
don't
do you
know.
need to announce that you're first? That's just so stupid.
It's
I
like
People in
think
calling
chat,
shotgun though.
it's
yeah,
It's like
more
calling shotgun for a car.
it's
you don't
more
get anything out
fun
of
than
it.
anything.
Why? What's fun
It's
about it?
it's
See,
fun because
I've
go ahead. I have my go ahead.
so I thought the same thing. I was like, you know what? This is like, there's nothing to it. Maybe I should actually have something special associated with it.
There's
Mm.
the evil.
But
It really is just like a really loud voice saying evil.
oh god. But what were you
But
gonna say there, Nix?
for me,
With the
like
first,
I
yeah.
enjoy the first redeem. Like I think I might incorporate it into my own streams soon. Because
Yeah.
I think it's just fun because you get to see who is always there to come to your like who is there to your streams most often. Are they there just for the redeem? Are they there for like the first 30 minutes to listen to like what you're doing? Like it just shows that you have an active community who wants to be there as soon as you start.
You kind of just now you made me think. I really wish there was a redeem that sort of had a cooldown timer to it, like it only activated after 2 hours of the stream.
Mm.
That's 2 hours first.
Yeah,
2 hours,
Yeah, the 2
yeah.
hour burst.
You can manually activate something like that.
Yeah, you probably could actually.
2 hours in, you activate the redeem.
Actually get. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Now I should just have a last redeem.
A last
Last-
redeem? You should have a
Yeah.
first and last redeem.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, who can get the
I'll put
redeem
last
right
redeem
before
when
you
I-
end?
Yeah, when I hit the raid message, I'm gonna be chugging on the last redeem.
But if you're the first one to redeem the last redeem, are you first or last?
You're last.
You're
You're
last. You stayed.
You can brag. You can brag. You were last.
But you're also the
You saw
first.
the downfall.
You're the first to activate last, so you're both first and last.
But yeah, I did think about like incorporating something to it because there was another. I don't know if we talked about it. Oh no, we haven't yet. That's still coming up. I'll keep it for later.
But like, going back to like the first thing, like I go to your
You
streams a
got
lot.
16.
I have 16. Okay, that tells you something. So I've been
16,
first.
you're first, and then the next closest person is at 9.
What?
Yeah, it's 16, 9, and then after that is 5, 3, and then a bunch of ones.
Oh my
16
gosh.
And that's a 69.
So okay, but here's the thing: is even though I have 16, if I know I can't stay for a good portion of the stream, I actually don't redeem it.
Oh, okay.
So if I know I can't stay, I don't redeem it because it's not fair to other people who are going to be staying. Like sometimes I'll
Yeah.
be able to watch your stream for maybe 5-10 minutes, but I can't do anything else. So I won't redeem it even if I am there. And then I see someone else redeem it. I was like, okay, like I know they're going to stay. Like but I can only be here for like 10 minutes. And so it's not fair for me to just go in, claim it and then leave.
Yeah. That makes sense. Maybe I'll make another one that says Nix can't stay redeem or something like that.
Nix can't stay redeemed.
We'll make extra ones.
After
at
this
this point-
podcast, everyone just has 20 more redeems.
At this point, yeah.
Jano says, I agree with Nix. It creates some kind of camaraderie among your community. Your viewers interact with each other saying, yes, I'm the first, I'm the second, I'm the third. And oh, dang, you beat me to it. Kind of good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of unites your community together too.
There's so many variations on it. Just having first, second, and third, or just having like first and not first.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a morale shout, like Peony's Jeans of Fire.
Oh.
Peony is doing the Jeans of Fire song.
Oh, I haven't.
I don't know if I've heard that.
I
You have
can't
to
think
go
of
to
a.
you have to go to her stream to check it out.
I definitely will.
I think I know what it is, but that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But yeah, I've been tempted. I think for we'll talk about it later. This comes up in another part of the question.
Another, yeah.
Maybe we should do it now because we have only like 30 minutes left.
Alright, it's number. So it's what's a memorable moment for you?
Oh, yeah, so let's go to that one. So number 6. What's a memorable moment for you and do you ever think it would happen? And then, like,
So-
I think, like, going into this, like, what it's something that wasn't memorable and you struggled with.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of those. But the memorable thing for me is I have associated all VIP badges to something that's memorable in my stream. Very, very
Ooh.
special.
Oh.
So if I look at their names of my VIPs, I know and I associate the memory with them. Like my very first follower, my very first chatter,
I see.
my very first subscriber, my very first gift subber, my very first bits, my very first raid target. So some of them overlap, and they like my very first Discord member, stuff like that. That's how I associate my memorable moments. But ooh.
But I've been, like, trying to think about mine.
For
And
VIPs.
I actually first of all, I was always curious about how you set your VIPs. I'm always curious about how people set their VIPs. For me, I only have one person who is a VIP, and that is my IRL friend who helped me create my lore and everything that has to do with streaming.
Oh well, yeah, that's perfectly fine too. That's great.
That's literally the only VIP badge that I have given out.
Because
I usually I usually put VIPs to people that I collab with multiple times.
Mm.
That I know that like there's a personal trust between me and them in a way.
They're a
Think,
genuine
oh yeah,
VIP.
yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
person is a VIP in my stream. That's the
Mm-hmm.
VIP thingy.
Yeah. But for
Yeah.
me, a memorable moment. A memorable moment for me, I think, would be when I got a raid. When I got a raid and then a hype train was started. Because I didn't know what a hype train was. And I actually had to pause my stream and Google what a hype train was.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. If you're not in Twitch and that sort of hemisphere of it, you wouldn't know, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And so like
But
reading it and then like figuring out what it was just kind of like, I can't believe like this is happening.
did you clip it, highlight it at all, and keep it as a memory?
I did not, but I do have the VOD still. But that
Ah.
definitely was like one of the streams where I almost started crying.
Oh,
Because
Damn,
it was just
now
so it was just
I missed
so memorable. And like just
Is-
like the joy of all of it.
what would it take to be more memorable then for you? Like, what do you like? How do you determine something as being memorable? I guess.
For me, if it has like an impact on me in some way, like I think it was after that stream did I add a cry command.
You added a cry command? Okay, I didn't even know that. I gotta look at your
Yes.
commands more.
How does the
I
cry
don't-
command work? Do they start crying on
Um,
stream?
I don't
People tell you
remember
to
what my
cry, they
crimp.
start crying?
There we go.
Yeah, Nix has cried.
Oh, how many times you cried? I see.
Yeah, she's got to cry
It's
once.
like
She's got to
command streamer start crying.
activate cry mode now. Oh. Just like, what do you want?
But
The
yeah,
ugly
'cause,
cries,
like-
the beautiful cries.
Because like things like hype trains are like when people just suddenly like just start gifting things.
Mm.
Like
Gifting
I just don't know how. Like I just get very emotional, and it's just kind of like I don't know how to respond.
Mm.
For me, I think a lot of that stuff too is also it's a huge compliment to receive any sort of monetary
Follow,
gift.
sub, raid, anything is a huge
Yeah,
compliment.
because it just means like you can watch the stream for free, but then you've gone ahead and decided
Mhm.
it's worth.
When you gift a
Showing
sub to
appreciation.
someone, it's like people love you so much that they're willing to sub to you another time.
Yeah, it's such a big compliment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every time it happens, I honestly always feel like I don't express that properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, secretly, I do send a message afterwards and thank them for it, because it is a big compliment that deserves in my opinion, deserves a proper thanking.
Yeah, because you can only do so much live on stream.
What about you, Mimic? What's been a memorable moment for you?
There are so many, because it's a year and a lot of things happen, and because I collab with so many people, then there's a lot of great and bad memorables. Actually, a memorable moment doesn't have to be a good moment; could be a bad moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually talked about this in my stream.
Do you think
Tony
it's 50-50?
was there and asked to get a tease from the podcast, so I pulled out this question. No, it's definitely not 50-50. There is by far more good moments. By far, I would say 95% is good moments, but then there's the 5% bad moments, and the bad moments they really sting out. They're really, really
yeah.
harsh.
Mm-hmm.
So randomly, first raid, first mod, which came together because Arrow was there and like, hey, make me a mod, I'll solve everything, because Stream Elements started to banning people. Tony says, I never thought that gift receiving was one of my love languages until I started receiving it from chat. Talking about Pony, for example, I remember she got me the key for Diablo 4, and we played 12 hours together the whole day out of nowhere. Um, I remember getting 130 subs from my chat,
Damn.
and like 100 subs from Sordek because I have this. Every new sub, I do 10 jumping jacks. So they're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh, so they're
yeah,
doing it as a
do a
punishment.
yeah, do 1,000 jumping jacks. So I did 1,000 jumping jacks on stream. I put my camera on. I just did 1,000 somewhere on YouTube, and that's a great moment. That's really brought everyone together. And they're like, let's do this jumping jacks with him. And then they got up, a few of them, like Zero and Sordek, and started doing jumping jacks with me. D&D is always great memories. The end of a campaign where you have all the I have
Oh yeah, all the, like
100, roughly 130 players in D&D right now in two campaigns, three campaigns.
ooh.
And the end of each campaign, you put all like 50 or 70 players on screen. You have this giant picture of everyone. You see, oh my god, what an amazing thing we achieved here.
Everyone
Those are
that's
some of the good
participated,
memories.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And there is some bad memories, people who backstab you, talk bad about you behind your back, um, kick you out from servers because of miscommunication, misunderstanding,
Yeah.
blaming you for things that
You
you've
had no
never done.
association with.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think the general misunderstanding you. I feel like I've been misunderstood many more times than what I deserve. Um, and that comes down to people being offended or people looking for things to be offended by.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
I feel like
When you
it's
go
so
digging deep enough, you find.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so common. And even if it's not something that I said, it's just they add 1 plus 1 and they get 20, and it doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. But some people are actually looking to be offended, and I'm very sensitive, so naturally I get offended more than the average person, which is my issue. But when you interact with a lot of people, you have to deal with that. And that's something. Right now, I'm doing less collabs. I'm doing more collabs with people that I trust and less collabs with new people.
Mhm.
And I found it easier to deal with.
Because yeah, like you said, you do enjoy the collaborations, right? The ones that you do have every now and then, right?
Yes, I do. But I do a lot more homework on who I want to collab with.
Mm.
Right now, because I used to just jump on Twitter and every person that looks interesting, I would ask them for a collab. And now I take
Ah,
it more
yeah.
slowly, getting to know the person. Not because I want them to get to know me, but because I want to know that I'm not, um, I'm not getting another bad card. I'm
Yeah,
not drawing a
yeah.
bad card. That's the thing.
Not
Always a
rotten egg.
bitter feeling, but at least they weed themselves out. Yes, Makoto is pointing out
Mm-hmm.
one of the great things. If I collab with 250 people in this year, I got like 10 people that I can genuinely trust, and I collab with them a lot. And then there's a lot of people who come and go, and then there's like 5 people that are big warning sign, and I stay the hell out of their way, which is also good because every time I see them canceling someone else, I'm like, whew, dodge that
Sirens
one.
going off in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that person canceled 5 collabs with me after I saw their drama on Twitter. I was like, whew,
Mm.
dodge that one. Let's go.
I
There's another
was
person
gonna.
that I want to play D&D with, and we got really friendly. And then I asked them, "Do you play D&D?" And they were like, "Oh no, I don't play D&D."
Oh
And they
god.
completely ignored me since. And then slowly, I felt really bad just keeping them around, so I just unfollowed them. And recently, they've been involved in really big drama.
I was gonna ask you though, because it sounds like you have quite a few memories, like memorable moments. If you had to choose one of them, which one would it be and why?
A good
Is that
one? Let's
yeah,
go
like
with a
a
good
really
one.
good one.
A good one. You know what? For some reason,
It sticks out.
um,
Which one?
a game that really sticks out for me, a moment that sticks out, is the game The Dream Machine, because the
Okay.
claymation game that
Mm-hmm.
not many people know, not many people played, and I played it. I think like 15 chapters once a week. It took like
Okay.
I don't know 3 months, and
Damn.
it was a
Okay. Yeah.
big chunk of my streaming time. I think it's the longest span wise, the longest series I played.
I can probably
That's an
figure that out.
ending game, yeah. And the last, and I've been doing voice acting of the characters. It's a bit of a creepy horror game, there's some really really cool twists in there, and for some reason, maybe because of the creepiness and horror elements, I got a lot of viewers. And I easily got to 15 viewers when I was like 100 followers from that game. Um, it's the equivalent of getting 150 viewers for me now, which is crazy. I don't know why that game attracted so many people. In the end, the last chapter of the game is a moment there's a very big moment, a conversation between two characters, and I actually teared up. It was very emotional because it felt like it's a big boy journey. Uh, you finally finish this big game that you've been playing for a long time. Now it doesn't happen. I played Honkai. I completed in 3 days.
Really?
You know what's
Three
funny
long
though?
streams. I completed everything.
I just looked up, Mimic, what games and how many hours you streamed it. That Dream Machine, apparently you've only streamed it 28 hours.
That's
What
only
is
29 hours. That's a lot.
Yeah,
what is
because
Mimic's longest stream?
Fourteen
his
hours, I
largest
believe.
category is Dungeons and Dragons by far,
Mhm.
with
Hmm.
194 hours.
That's really crazy, actually. I didn't know it's the longest.
Yes, and then to like the other thing too is actually no wait. Yeah, no. The other thing was like Diablo 2 Resurrected. You have 69 hours in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Maybe we should leave it on 69.
But
I
yeah,
do
no,
love Diablo 2 Resurrected, but it's a game that you can't really play without someone chatting with.
mm,
Hmm.
It
yeah,
gets really boring.
extremely boring. I burnt out on that game as well because I never played the Diablo 2 when it first came out, but I had friends at the time that were like, you know what, let's play it and we can experience
It's an
it all.
amazing game, but for stream, it gets.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, we can hunt this rune. We can hunt what is it, jar runes down. I was like, oh, I don't even care.
hmm And if
But
people don't
anyway,
understand what's going on and all the items and nuances of the game, it's really hard. But I
exactly.
love it. I love the game.
Yeah.
It's a good, fun game to play by yourself, but not necessarily a great streaming game. Which is, yeah, that's another one of those things way back. Is like what's changed about like the image of streaming. There
hmm
really are games that are suited for streaming and games that sort of aren't.
Yeah, when I played the Honkai, I felt like this is a really good game for streaming.
Mm,
But when I played Spiritfarer, I felt like it's a really bad game for streaming, and that's
hmm
I don't get why, because both of them are very narrative heavy, both of
hmm
them are very crafting heavy.
hmm
Um, one game felt like it was going really well, and the other game felt like it's going like crap. I remember
mm.
Alice told me yesterday, I went to your Spiritfarer on stream, and I think my Twitch bugged out because you had only 2 viewers. And I said, no, I actually had 2 viewers. When I stream Spiritfarer, it starts with like 10 viewers, and then
Yeah.
it goes down to 2 viewers, and
But I think
that's
it picked back up, didn't it?
it goes to like 4 viewers. I had a raid, so it picked
Yeah.
out to like 8
Mm.
viewers, and then I rated I think with like 4 viewers something, even 2 viewers.
Yeah.
And with
Okay, that makes
Honkai,
sense.
my raids at the same time, same hour. Honkai ended with an 18 people raid.
Yeah, God.
Yeah,
So-
that's yeah. Those are
That's
really
night and
popular
day in terms
areas
of,
right now.
But I can't think of any memorable moments for me. Like I said, it's just associated with the VIP badges. A lot of that times, bad memorable moments. Yeah, there's been a few bad memorable moments. Like recently, there was one for me where I should have probably banned someone faster.
Mm,
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I was playing the game, sort of being too focused on the game and what was happening in it, and just because I don't have any mods, so he was going to town on chat, with just
Mm.
not that great many messages, and
hmm
I was like, you know what, fine, you can say you can give me these jokes and whatnot, but you sort of honestly pull it back a bit because you know it's nice to. There's a difference between spamming something and just using it as like a random topic to talk about.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah. Once I said that, they didn't comply, so I timed them out. 10 minutes later, they come back. They seem reformed, and then in the last 30 seconds, they said something bad.
Oh.
Uh,
And
this
you're
is
like,
one
well,
reason that when I ban someone because of something bad they've done, I usually never unban them because I don't believe in second chances. If someone did something bad, they will do it again.
Yeah, and you don't ban people like lightly either, or at
Oh
least
no,
I
I
don't ban
ban
people lightly.
very rarely. Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I literally sent them into a 10-minute timeout, and
Mhm.
they seemed perfectly fine for 30 minutes afterwards.
Mhm.
And then it was just in the end, the last little seconds, they were just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you
No,
gonna flip that switch?"
Coco, you're okay. Not banned. I'm talking about people who got banned. I have people said stuff that should not be said on
Mhm.
Twitch.
Mm,
You can take the risk. It's my. I cannot take the risk. They will say something on stream that will make me be banned. You can
yes,
take that
that
risk. You
is.
know.
I think that
Yeah.
people forget that part about streaming as well as anything that's said in a chat, you are obligated to moderate, and
Yep.
if you don't moderate it and you let it get out of hand, it's not
It's
the
on
Me,
you.
person's
it's on my
account being
head.
banned. It's your Twitch channel being banned. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's why in general today I have a very very low patience for any kind of venting or drama. Anyone who's
Mm,
talk about the negativity in my chat, I immediately say, listen, we do not talk about negativity here.
yeah, you give
If you
them the warning.
continue, yeah, if you didn't continue, you time them out, and if they
Yep.
do it again, ban forever.
Yep.
Um,
3 strike system basically.
mhm.
Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah. Another bad, sad memory was
Listen, I don't like
Anyway.
the concept of typecasting, but some people just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people who curse or swear, they will keep doing that,
Mm.
and they will never get it. That it's just they can't control it. Can at least tell stuff about how I don't get girls, mage. What do you think? What do you think? If someone going, I can't get a girlfriend in your chat.
I don't know. It depends on the frequency of it, I guess.
And it depends on how they say it too.
And it's also, I guess it also depends on like, even if you come to me and you ask for like consultation on it, and like you're not even acting on it, like it's just like, well, at the point, I don't even want to talk to it.
Mm.
I don't want to talk to you about it, really.
Well,
Like
personally,
you
I don't
can,
care. Coco, for example, you can do whatever you want. I'll give advice as much as I can. But remember that this is the image
mm,
that the streamer gets of you. If someone is constantly telling,
mm,
"Oh, my day is so bad today, I lost in every game that I play," and you keep doing that every single stream, my image of you is that you're that loser who's can't win games. And I'm saying that because nobody ever told me that. Let's say you're a carpenter who always nail your finger. Like, oh, I nailed my finger today again with a hammer. That's the image that I get of you. If you're someone like, hey, I love you so much, you're so wholesome, like Off the Wisp, constantly praises me, non-stop, and I
mhm.
praise him back. And I see him in chat, I already get a smile on my face because that's the kind of viewer I get. So whatever you say in chat, keep in mind that this is how other people get you.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
god,
just
lol,
like my
send them to
image.
mimic.
I'll
I
repeat.
can't wait to
Yeah.
laugh at you. If it's a joke,
I
it's
tripped him.
funny. I'll do it. Today I tripped and
Mhm.
fell and it broke my nose. Yeah, I will repeat that on every stream. Send him
Nah, see,
to
that's
Peony.
my image of Nyx. That's Nyx right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Except for without
by the
tripping,
way,
it's
yeah.
just running into walls.
If you have anyone who's venting or doing drama or negative stuff, send them to Peony. She's she will take care of them.
Ooh.
She will make them know their place.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
She has a whip.
Oh.
Her
Yeah, don't
tongue.
worry.
Her tongue is like a whip. Lashes. Snap. Smacking people with her sharp tongue and language. Send them all to
Ooh.
me. I'll give them the link. Just give us the link, Peony. Send me the link again. Send me the link now. I'll put it in the chat. Send the link to. She has a link to where you can
Oh.
ask your questions and complain about your life. And
Was it like a marshmallow sort of thing?
Yeah, it's like a marshmallow, like a form.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
A Google form or whatnot.
she will explain to you why you're a bad person.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. I do remember the one time I foresaw Nyx's future with her day and it actually came true.
We don't talk about that.
I don't even read tarot cards. I don't do any of that divination stuff. And somehow Nick's just as a self-fulfilling prophecy. You can it's like yeah.
Basically, Evil said that I would walk into a wall, and then I would step on a Lego. Luckily, I didn't have any Legos that I could remember at the time.
But you did stub your toe, didn't you?
I stubbed my toe.
So it was still foot related.
I thought you went into a Lego wall.
I did walk into a wall. I walked straight into a pillar. And then later that night,
are you in your phone? Is it when you're on your phone? Like what's going on?
I can't understand it either.
Too busy with something.
Sometimes I'm on my phone and I'm walking, but that's only one specific wall. A different wall is like when I'm not used to being in that room, and so when I walk out, I'm used to turning right away because there's no wall. But then when I'm in that back room, I leave and I turn right away, which is just straight at the wall. Because I'm used to.
You've been in that room and hit that wall many times, right?
3 times.
How many more times is it gonna take, Nick?
A lot more. A lot more. And then one of them is, so it's an indent in the wall, but you can only see it if you're at a certain angle. So after that indent in the wall is an actual hallway. And because I'm thinking like, okay, we go forward and we turn, I always turn into the indent in the wall instead of the hallway.
Wait, this indent, did you make that indent?
No, it's like an actual like indentation into the wall. Like it goes in like a foot.
Did you talk to that indent? Did you tell him what's your problem?
No.
He's got a name. Anyway.
Pinocchio
The
ass
4 foot
breaking
pink
their nose
gremlin.
and what?
Nick's
I do have glasses. I do wear them and I can see.
Nix, you haven't walked into a tree, have you?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
I lied.
Honestly,
I
this
walked
is
into
so
a
weird.
tree branch the other day, actually.
I'm trying to figure out like which inanimate objects you can like walk into at this point.
A lot. Many.
Here's the link to the Google form. Or you can just ask me or Peony directly if you want to.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
If you have any life issues or advice you need, Peony is giving advice on her stream. She's having some really good advice, and you know what's good? She will not be nice or hide the truth from you. She will be very straightforward, tell you if you're a good person or a bad person. If you're doing something shitty, she will tell you that's a shitty thing to do.
I like that.
This is quite nice.
Yeah, stream is a bit laggy.
Is it?
Nix is lagging out a bit.
But that's Nix for you.
That's
Yeah,
that's.
I think I heard it before when you
Oh,
were
really?
robot voice.
Yeah, she has a robotic voice for a moment.
Mm.
It's when Nix. That's how you know that Nix is doing something else in her computer right now.
Yeah, she's
Going to
She's
website and
multitasking.
such. Yeah.
I actually don't have anything pulled up. I was doing my shoutouts earlier though.
Maybe just rats in the walls.
Maybe. You were refreshing 5 times? What?
5
Yeah.
times. You have to refresh only once.
Nix, fix your Wi-Fi? I can't because
Nix, move to America.
I am.
Wait, I'm so interested in bullying the streamers.
Yet.
Move to be Peony's neighbor. She will give you the best internet.
Yeah, fill out that form about how bad your internet is. She'll give you the honest truth.
The honest truth, get better Wi-Fi.
Fill the form, get better internet.
Honest truth, get better internet. Go somewhere else.
Move.
But we're nearing the end of the podcast. What are your takeaways from today?
Oh no, it's the time for the takeaways.
It's time for
Let's go,
takeaways.
everyone. The takeaway dance. Evil, this is the time that the guest is doing the takeaway dance.
What do I do a takeaway dance? Oh my god. Do
You
I
have
get
to dance
Chinese
in
food?
real life.
Okay. Alright, I'm in position, ready for the dance.
Okay, so tell us what's your takeaway from today. It's got a one-liner that you think, oh, this is a good thing to remember, something to write down.
Oh god. I actually haven't been.
You know,
I don't know if you-
I'll start. I actually got a good
Yeah.
one. I got a really good one. It's so good that I actually wrote it down on my Google Keep. I just forgot how to access my Google Keep. It is, where is it? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
God damn it. I was about to say that one too, god damn it.
You want to say half and half?
No, yeah, alright. I didn't write it down.
You have to.
Yeah, that one
You want
really
to take
stuck
that?
out.
I can
No, that's
take
a good one.
another one.
No, I'll got another. I'll
Okay,
figure out
I'll
another
take
one
it.
in there.
That's Emmett said it. It's a good, very good one. Here's his. The
Mm.
best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. It's a good way to say just do it.
Yeah, I think for me it's just don't get caught up in the small things. It's like
Don't get caught up by the small things.
yeah, for like stream quality and the prerequisites for streaming. And, you need to have all the top-notch gear and stuff like that. You just don't. Nah. The tolerance level of Twitch and viewers is ridiculously high.
For me, just have fun with what you're doing.
No, you always say that. No.
I do.
You have to get something else this time.
And I'm trying to think of like something else, but I always feel like I always say the same thing.
Think about the redeems we talked about, the other things we talked about.
Cause I'd be like be comfortable with who you are, but I've said that before.
Yeah, you also said that.
What about how you imagine streaming?
Oh,
Or
did you
how you
think
plan
streaming is gonna be the
streams.
same?
Don't let numbers fool you.
Don't let numbers fool you. What does that mean?
Like in terms of like your viewer count, your follower count, your streaming times. Don't be an imposter, essentially.
So just like be yourself.
Yeah, but then yeah,
I've
I've still done that.
You're gonna get something. You're gonna get something new out of Nix. That's good. It's a
I'm
very
trying.
positive
I'm
person.
trying.
It's alright. They're good. They're good.
Believe in you. Who believes in you?
Yeah. I noticed the stream has been playing for 10 seconds and then doing the infinite load.
Really?
Yeah, it's for the past couple minutes because you on stream you've just written takeaways.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't know how long ago that was.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, and now it's loading again. Anyway.
So Nix, what's your takeaway? What's the last choice?
What about personality? Your streaming style?
I said that before. I've said it on every single time.
Be yourself.
I've said that before.
You're gonna turn into like Vin Diesel's a family thing for me. What's most important? Family.
We've talked about like step out of your boundaries. Have fun with what you're doing.
What about
Step on your viewers.
Step on your viewers.